before with Scott. Scott, I want to talk about one interesting thing that happened recently, Scott, and that's your meeting with one or two people that I would not name without your permission. Can I talk about that meeting that we talked about in your podcast? Scott, you there? All right, so while waiting for Scott, I'm not sure if you can hear me, Scott. I can't hear you, bro. One of the top VCs from back in the day, and they just time. I'm gonna kick it off with our speakers. Let me introduce Sandeep first. Sandeep, everyone in crypto knows who.
The Ethereum block space is very costly, but it's also the most decentralized. But for applications and end users, you need low cost and faster transactions, and we believe that that can be achieved using the Ethereum security, but that can be achieved on on layer 2 blockchains, and that's where we are focused on. We have currently one solution, Polygon POS, which is currently arguably the most adopted blockchain globally if you consider all the segments like DeFi, gaming, and everything. And the most important thing is what is called the holy grail of scaling in Ethereum, that is the ZK EVM. We are launching our mainnet on 27th of March.
So I would just for the average just. So one of the problems with blockchain, I'm just trying to simplify it for the audience. One of the problems with most blockchains is that they're slow, and that's one of the downsides to it. And this is something that was one of the things that Polygon, one of the issues that Polygon addresses. I've got a quick question for you, man. You guys launched in 2019, and correct me if I'm wrong. And in 2019, and anyone for the audience, I want you to listen. 2019, what was Polygon's market cap?
We actually launched in 2019. Yes, when we did our public sale, it was 26 million.
So your market cap was at 26 million?
Yes, that's where we.
Okay, so Polygon, for anyone listening, launched in 2019 at 26 million. 2019 was, if you think now we're in a bear market, 2019 was the ice age. No one even spoke about crypto. No one thought crypto will get another hype phase as we had in 2017. And Polygon's current market cap, everyone sees cryptos haven't collapsed. Their current market cap is at what, Sandeep?
I'm gonna guess 4 billion.
The current
fully
diluted is 13.5 billion.
13.5 billion. And in 2019, it was 26 million. And that's after the correction. What was the peak, Sandeep?
Peak was 30 billion.
30 billion. So just anyone listening to the audience, that the project Polygon, and again, most of you that are in crypto, this is pretty basic for you, or might not be. You might not know these facts. That Polygon was at 26 million when no one really cared about crypto. And now they're sitting at 13 billion, despite the correction that we saw in the last year and a half. So it just gives you an idea that projects, times like this, we're going through a similar phase now as we went through in 2019. And if you find the right project, whether you're an entrepreneur or you want to work at a certain company or an investor, Polygon is a good example. And I've used Polygon as an example when giving speeches before and explaining bear markets. I'm going to have a few questions for you, Sandeep, a bit later about navigating times like these, especially people that are looking into the space, whether it's entrepreneurs or people looking for a job or people within the space already. Shibtoshi, actually, it's a good time to introduce you as well, man. from what I know, is that you're one of the biggest holders of Shiba Inu, which is a meme coin. Is that fair to say? Now you've got your own project called Shiba. Called Squid Grow.
Yeah, that's correct. I invested into SHIB day one, and I've held it ever since. And back in June of this past year, we launched Squid Grow.
And man, for anyone that doesn't know what a meme coin is, first, what is it? It's actually, people in the space that can't even explain what a meme coin is. What is it? Why is there value? Because people love to call any meme coin a scam. Why is there value? Why is it not a pump and dump? And then the third question I have for you, very honestly, man, why the hell did you hold it? Why did the whole SHIB so early on? And give us some numbers. What was the amount? What was the value back then? What's the value at the peak? What's the value now? And I'm actually pretty curious to ask you more questions about meme coins in general. And of course, we'll dig into Squid Grow later.
Okay, so we don't really, although we started out life as a meme coin, we are focused on utility building right now, but it's essentially something that is memeable. We kind of started going after was the Netflix TV series Squid Games. Obviously was really hot when we rolled out Squid Games, and also at the same time Evergrow token was real big. So I kind of combined the two names, two very positive things in the world, the TV series and Evergrow coin, and we decided upon the name of Squid Grow. And as I said, we launched in June. To SHIB was shilled to me by a couple of my friends, and after a little bit of hesitance, I decided to start dollar cost averaging into it, and I thought it'd be funny to hold a bigger position than all 7 of my friends together. And we had our initial run up to about $1 million market cap of SHIB, and then it crashed down, and everybody was upside down, and we remained that way for several months. There was a few things that kind of played into our favor, such as Elon tweeting about buying a Shiba Inu dog. After we had been listed, everybody starts, I'm assuming, Googling Shiba Inu, to figure out what type of dog he was talking about. And Shiba Inu coin popped up, and we just really started, taking off. So to give you some numbers, I invested a little over $8,000 into SHIB, and at the bottom of that, it was worth just under $7, and I wrote it all the way up to $5.7 billion, and I've held it to the current state.
Oh no, I'm sorry,
SHIB,
sorry. Can you just wait? Okay, so when you say $8,000, you invested $8,000 of your own money?
Yes.
And at the bottom, that went down to how much?
A little under $8.
Sorry, hold on, bro. You're saying your $8,000 was worth $8 at one stage?
Oh yeah. We had the initial little pump from SHIB, and then it went down substantially. Yes.
It's fucking mental. And now what did it peak at? Your $8,000. What did it peak at in value?
A little over $5.7 billion.
Get the fuck out of here, man. This is fucking mental.
And currently it's a little over $1 billion as it stands now.
Hold on, that's your holdings in SHIB right now make you a billionaire.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of people focus on my SHIB holdings. I'm also a very early Bitcoin adopter, and I hold a big bag of Bitcoin as well. But yes, my SHIB my SHIB holdings make me a billionaire. Yeah. Although to go into that, and obviously I've got nothing negative to say about SHIB at all. I love everything about Shiba Inu. There is a liquidity issue, obviously, and it'd be impossible to pull that 5.7 billion out at the top, and you couldn't pull any substantial amount of money out of SHIB without destructing the chart, and that kind of goes against everything that I stand for. Now, that's not to say some of my friends didn't start pulling SHIB really heavy.
SHIB, it's not a liquidity issue. I think you could pull about $42.6 million max before it dives.
I've not checked the numbers.
I did.
I do know. I know I have some friends that pulled pretty heavy on it, but it's not worth rugging the project for. I do pretty good in blue chips. I'm a big Bitcoin and Ethereum trader myself, and as I said, I've been in Bitcoin since 2011, so that's kind of my bread and butter. SHIB just kind of
wasn't insulting the bags. I'm
itself.
just saying at the moment. I think that's the fulcrum moment, right? I think, around
The for the total liquidity.
for it not to dive to make nothing else worthwhile.
No, hold on. Oh, guys, I want to skip all this shit. $8 became $1 billion. Wahid, hold on. Wahid, are you with me right now?
You're gonna pump me now, as well.
No. Hold on. We were talking to Vivo earlier, and you're like, Mario, tell her about crypto. I wish you told me that yesterday. That's insane. If
Well, you can
$8
repeat the story to her, but
I will
that's
repeat the
my
story to
wife
her, man.
For everyone to know, and she's really pissed off with how much time I'm spending on my project. And Mario just gave her a pep talk. That's the context.
Yeah, so Wahid, before I go to Scott, and hopefully your mic is working now, Scott, and then I give a shout out to our great sponsors, which Squid Grow is a sponsor of the show, and I hope that I don't know if they're a client of IBC. If not, we'd love to work with you guys because initially, and I can't wait to talk about Squid Grow later on, because we were very skeptical. We gave you a bit of crap, and others as well. But when we dug into it, I'm actually a fan of the project, so it'll be an interesting discussion to have. But before that, Wahid, good to have you, man. You've been there since the early days. You got a pretty sick project in the space. I want you to touch on your project, but more importantly, because you're not a sponsor, I just want you to talk about your project just because, and we work together on it. But more importantly, you came from the private equity space. You busted my balls in the early days about the crypto space and your concerns with the crypto space. You ended up being right about a lot of things. But then now we're in the midst of a bear market and you're a believer despite everything. So I'd love to get your thoughts on it, man. And I want your message, Wahid, to kind of be focused on, as a private equity guy and someone from the traditional world, managed. I think your fund is like 800 million. So you're, completely outside the crypto world just a year ago or a year and a half ago. How would you explain it to the average Joe looking at the space now, or people within the space that are having second thoughts?
Yeah, look, absolutely. So yeah, my private equity background, is what it is. We own a lot of fashion companies and fashion technology companies. But for me, what I love about the blockchain is that it literally enabled everything we're doing right now. So for me, it's not a gimmick. It's not something to speculate on. It literally is the only thing now that is powering what we're doing. And just in context, Faith Tribe and Faith Connection, it's a 22-year-old company. Have held it for about 10 years. And it really did pioneer open source fashion, which basically just means that it includes all kinds of independent designers to put them in the business of fashion. So think Uber and think Airbnb gives people an opportunity to overnight get into business if they have a car, if they have a house. Well, here we are trying to empower designers to be able to turn sketches into real life.
So you leverage the blockchain to essentially open up. So anyone that wants to get into the fashion world, you make it easy for them just through your token.
But we give
them everything they need.
But the thing about the blockchain that is crucial is that we fund artists, and you could not do that without a banking license. But the blockchain actually enables this peer-to-peer lending platform through staking. And so that is, so we literally can put a lot of people into business in a way that otherwise could not have happened unless you just focus on 50, but you could never do thousands at a time. So that's really the mission. And so when I say it's existential and it really powers us, we've been doing this for 22 years, but we are turbocharging now because of the blockchain. And so that's a little bit about Faith Tribe. What else can I answer for you, Mary?
No, I want to get your thoughts on the crypto world, man. That's not just
So I mean,
you came out you busted my balls a lot last year. You went through hell. You launched your project when Luna collapsed. You launched your project. Anyone not in the
we launched on the 24th of February, the Ukrainian war, and you were calling me.
No, that's when you got it. No. That's when. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And then Gate was all right. So you launched on the day. For anyone listening, it's gonna be interesting here. He launched his project. I remember the day when Russia crossed the border into Ukraine was the day where he launched his project. And then he listed on Gate, the exchange, the week Luna collapsed and crypto was just in free fall from 40K to 30K, I think.
Yeah, and look, it doesn't, I'm not going to say I don't care. I really do. But at the end of the day, if you're building and, and you're focusing on designers and getting them into the business and actually creating value, then things will accrete over time. the one thing I did do, and again, against the advice of a lot of people, is people said delay distributions, do that, don't distribute the tokens. The VCs can wait. I disagree with that. And so just honor all the contracts, distribute your tokens, let people vest, and let the token settle. Okay. Now, in our case, it's just under the IDO price. I don't care. Over time, you create value.
Just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors. In a bit, we're going to do a pitch, a Shark Tank like pitching section where we're going to have a few projects pitching, and then we're going to have investors, including the co-hosts, going through them, asking questions. We just want to give a shout out quickly, if you don't mind, Wahid, to the sponsors. And I'll give a shout out to Wahid since we're working with him as well, and he's much bigger than a sponsor. So Wahid just talked about his project, Faith Tribe, which is a decentralized fashion platform. We do have C+ Charge. C+ Charge is essentially leveraging the blockchain or tokenization to, they want their token, and I'm trying to, I want to simplify it here, but they want to integrate blockchain with EV charging through a token. So you can use the token to charge your electric vehicle. They're going to break it down a bit later for us, but definitely check them out. So C+ Charge, C+ Charge token. We've got Squid Grow, who's on stage right now. And Squid Grow is a meme coin launched by Mr. Shibtoshi. He's a massive, obviously he holds $1 billion worth of Shiba Inu. And then we've got Cross the Ages, who I think works with IBC as well. I love decentralized gaming. So anyone in the space looking, all right, I want to get into crypto now. It's a bear market. It feels like 2019. I think it's a good time to get on and wait for the next bull market. One industry I'm really big fan of is decentralized gaming, which we'll talk about later. We have Sandeep from Polygon here, so he can help us through that and give us a bit more context on his thoughts on decentralized gaming. So I'm extremely bullish on that. I've got a lot of money personally in a lot of decentralized games or tokenized games, Web3 games, whatever you want to call them. Cross the Ages is one of those games. I think we're invested as well. Great game. It's card-based game. They're going to be pitching a bit later. Definitely check them out. They've got a bunch of good partnerships. And the last one is Bandicoots. Bandicoots is a story-based NFT project, which another interesting concept. So I'm going to break down the first part of the show, into different segments of crypto that I want you all to look into. By the way, Sam, Fiji, you can just jump in anytime as we introduce the speakers. I want to go to Scott next. But I want to talk about different segments of crypto. We've got decentralized games, which is something I'm very bullish on. We've got Web3 fashion, another one. We've got meme coins. I really want people to understand what meme coins are. Why are meme coins worth so much? From SHIB token to all the others. Shiba Inu is the biggest one. You got what's the other one? Fucking Elon's one.
You got Dogecoin.
Funny enough, when Elon came in our space the first time, the first thing he said when he came on my space was Doge to the moon, and then it pumped.
And you see how it pumped?
Yeah, it pumped. No, it pumped twice, because it pumped when he said it, and then when I stopped, you can't listen to the space until I stopped the space. So many people weren't on the space, didn't know he said it, and didn't believe that he said it. So when I ended the space, a few minutes after that, people started listening to it, and it pumped again because replays started kicking in and the media covered it. But anyway, so I talk about meme coins.
And if we're going to be honest, by the way, I hit you in the back and I said, if you're going to do an X app, what token are you going to use? And you asked the question, and he said
Sam,
Doge.
Tell Fidgetal, how's his mic, Sam? He doesn't believe me.
Fidgetal, your mic doesn't sound great, man.
It's pretty shit, bro.
I'll go back.
I love you, but we need better mic. I want to go to Scott. Scott, you've got a great show in crypto. Oh, finally, man. Finally. Yeah, okay, what's the joke you were making, man?
We don't have 115,000 people here today, but Twitter Spaces still wasn't working for me, but I'm glad it is now.
It's so another area of crypto that I'm a big fan of, is something we're very heavy in, is media. We've got this show. We've got the show that Fidgetal runs on the Roundtable account with Goody. And you've got a great YouTube channel. We own a few channels as well on TikTok, Instagram, and other groups. I'm a big fan of Web3 media. I think there's something I call the Web3 multiple. Media attention in the normal world is worth a lot. In the crypto world, add another 0 to it. It's worth even more. It's really hard to get people's attention. I'd love to know more of your story, man. And anyone listening that wants to get into the media side of crypto, what's your advice to them?
I mean, you simply have to just start, to be quite honest. I think a lot of what I did was unintentional. We've discussed this story many times before. I actually came from music, but was a trader. And that's where I initially built my Twitter following. And then it was trading when I was a much smaller account and sharing ideas that really started getting it going. At which point I realized that being on Twitter really wasn't enough for me because I'm a content creator. That's how I was in music for 20 years. So I jumped from Twitter to writing a newsletter so that I could have a longer form. Then I realized that wasn't enough, which is at the point when I started the podcast, which was 1 day a week, went to 2 and 3. And then I was thinking these long form content that's coming out 3 times a week isn't enough, and started a daily YouTube show. But the bottom line is, I think that there's a bit of luck, of course, but it's really just about persistence and commitment, and knowing that it's going to take a very long time to build an audience, and just showing up day in, day out, and providing value and content. And it's really all that you can do. And from that point, you find obviously creative ways to turn it into a business.
And you don't have to look for big numbers. So when we look, if we do a space with 3,000 people, and we do a space about crypto, and we do a space with, let's say, 100,000 people, or let's say, no, let's be more realistic. We do a space 3,000 crypto or 20,000 non-crypto, covering whatever, the Chinese balloons or something like that. The crypto one financially is worth more. No joke. Even though it's a fifth of the size or whatever it is, almost 10% of the, not 10%. Yeah, almost 10%. If we look at 30,000 live, 10%. So the reason is that the audience, the Web3 audience, the crypto audience is worth significantly more.
I would say 10x.
So if you're,
I would say it's worth 10.
Yeah, exactly.
More. If you're looking at like, people paying per click or per viewer or per whatever, I would say that advertisers are willing to pay. Mainstream audience or niche audience.
Yeah, and a great example is Milk Road. Not sure if any of you heard of it. They have 250,000 subscribers, started by a guy called Sean Puri. They sold for 8 figures, between 10 and 15 million. I don't know if you guys know that, but they're just a newsletter with 250,000 subscribers, a daily newsletter. So that's what I call the crypto multiple. Attention in crypto is worth significantly more than other industries. So I highly recommend for anyone listening in the audience, don't focus on numbers. Like if you see a space, including my spaces that are really big, don't give a fuck. Start a channel. Even a small audience is worth a lot. You make some money by getting a sponsor, but the real money is not only getting sponsors, but it's the connections, the intros. And in a bull market, a lot of projects will give you access, or will give you tokens or NFTs as a quote unquote influencer or key opinion leader. And that's a good way to make to get a return on the time you put into it, something you don't get in other industries.
I think the growth factor in crypto is because the world is looking on and they can see that this industry is going to grow exponentially. It's like when you're investing in a stock. If you see great growth on that stock, you'll give it a much higher multiple. So you talk about multiples here, and it makes sense. Growth stocks, tech stocks have a far higher multiple than banking stocks. It's because people predict there's going to be far more growth in the future. So I think what it's showing is that we are predicting that crypto is going to be far bigger, far quicker than other industries. So that's why we're getting this immense sort of value on crypto in the early stages.
I think that's true, and I think there's an added element, which is that everybody wants to target 20-somethings, particularly males who are willing to invest and spend money, and that is obviously the core audience of the crypto space.
I want to go quickly. I was trying to introduce all our speakers before we kick off the discussion. Jan, I'm a massive fan of Delphi Digital, massive fan of what you guys are doing. So I'd love you to give a quick intro for the audience and give us an overview of what you're looking at in the space over the next 1 to 2 years. Where do you think is the best place to put one's attention as an entrepreneur or as an investor?
Appreciate the kind words. Nice to meet everyone. Appreciate the time. So Delphi started off as a independent research firm looking to kind of bridge the gap between institutional investors and crypto. Came from traditional finance and then started over the summer of 2018. So it's been a pretty fun journey, to say the least. We also had a consulting arm that later evolved into labs, and where we do a lot of incubation and kind of heavy-handed design implementation. And then we also have a venture arm that started in 2020, and that's just kind of prop capital. And so across the 3 entities, we're over 100 employees and continuing to grow. In terms of areas of interest, I really agree with kind of your point around gaming. I think there's a lot of excitement that was kind of built there, but naturally what happened was all built up a little bit too quickly. Part of it was, the expectation of people for things to be built quickly. Everything in crypto moves so fast, but games, you have to remember, take some time to build. And so I think everyone kind of got a bit ahead of themselves, both in terms of valuation and expectations. But there's a lot of really interesting stuff being built, and kind of the early movers are helping pave the way in terms of really learning how gaming can interact with the space, and really, testing and prod, seeing what works, what doesn't. You're learning very quickly, and everyone's really able to kind of implement from the shortcomings and the learnings of the predecessors. And so very excited for what's to come in the future on the gaming side. DeFi, is still a really interesting area. I think the regulatory landscape, while sometimes can be a headwind, particularly in the US, generally, I don't think it's going to be a permanent problem. But you have the issues with the centralized institutions, and seeing, particularly with FTX and what's happened, and seeing the need for DeFi, and the need for allowing people to have control over their capital, but still being able to utilize it in really interesting ways. And I think we've seen the pillars of DeFi being built already, or they've been built to some extent in the form of DEXs and lending markets, but we're starting to see very rapid iteration on those, understanding what models actually work, which ones are unsustainable, understanding how to properly use tokens, how to align incentives in the long run. I think the benefit of a bear market is you can have a much more sustainable level of DeFi thrive, because DeFi, part of the benefit is you want capital to be incredibly fluid. But in a time of bull markets, that fluidity can make true customer retention really difficult, because you have these things launching with unsustainable yields, and people will naturally kind of gravitate towards that. So you have some kind of natural user acquisition, but also a lot of this kind of inflated that isn't really sustainable. And so what we're seeing now on the DeFi side is also really interesting, and it's an area we're continuing to invest in. I think infrastructure is a big one, is a big area of interest. You have both from investing in like layer ones and L2s and the scaling solutions, as well as thinking about things that make the space more usable. So identity solutions, wallets, and kind of everything in between. And I think that's an area that's going to continue growing, especially as people bring more and more of their identity on chain. And then kind of the growth of identity on chain is also a really interesting kind of premise, in the sense that you have your identity is who you are, but your identity is also kind of what you've accomplished. And so now there's going to be there's a growing level of rich data available on these users, and you can naturally kind of take a user's history and figure out how they operate, and kind of gradually start to figure out useful kind of customer acquisition strategies, but also understanding what users are valuable to you and which aren't, and kind of optimizing for that.
So this is the concept of like a pseudo anonymous identity, where you have an identity. And this is interesting for anyone listening. I've got 2 points here I want to make that you'll enjoy. The first one is a pseudo anonymous identity. Look, everyone knows me as Mario Norful, but I can right now go create a new Twitter account, buy a punk or any NFT, buy an NFT, put it there, call myself Mr. X, and then start building a reputation. No one knows that who's behind in the physical world, who's behind Mr. X, but Mr. X has an identity, which is that NFT profile picture. That identity, he could function as that identity in different metaverses and different Web3 worlds, or Web2 worlds even, but let's talk about Web3. I don't know, Web2, yeah, there should be integration, but Web3 worlds, you have your own identity there. And how do you build reputation? Well, when you're participating in different projects, I've had people on Spaces, I think everyone here's doxed. Doxed means everyone knows their identity. But there's people that will have a profile pic like these cartoons that all of us have here, but no one knows the actual person behind them. Shibtoshi, do people know who you are exactly? Do people know your real world identity?
There are people that actually know who I am,
but not many, I guess.
The real world, not many. It's a very small circle of people that I trust, for obvious reasons.
I'm going to try to become one of those. But this is a fascinating concept, which is common in the Web3 world. So that's one area that is fascinating for me. And the other one, don't ask another quick question for Jan before we go to Frank and Dubsy. Jan, the question I have is the gaming. for people listening right now, and let's say we have gamers in the audience right now, how to get into the space? Because people were getting into Web3 gaming last year, or in the bull market. Axie Infinity caught everyone's attention, and some people made some crazy amounts of money there. But moving forward, for people wanting to get in, not just for the gaming concept, but the gaming better for just enjoying the game, but making money or creating value, building, building some sort of building their own assets within games. When is it next year? Is there games right now that people could start playing? And can you explain it for them very just a general overview without getting a bit too technical?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there are games launching now, and I think the best way to kind of get involved is going into their Discords or just following them on Twitter and kind of getting an understanding of the makeup of the game, reading some kind of, they have a lot of documentation around how the game works. This is useful for those already in crypto, but I do think in order for this space to really grow, it needs to reach out beyond the crypto native users and actually reach out to gamers, but obfuscate the crypto component. And so that's kind of what we're seeing as a user acquisition strategy that's happening now is, you can allow these games to be completely playable without really incorporating any Web3 elements. So there's no requirement for a wallet, there's no requirement for things to be on chain, but some of these assets over time, you can, as a gamer, claim them, and in the process of claiming it, you set up a wallet, but you can make that process very easy, where it's just here's your seed phrase, write that down, and then you can basically, your carrot to claiming it is the fact that you can now sell this asset that you've worked hard to attain. So you can begin to play the game without actually having any barriers to entry, but then using the carrot of actually realizing value on something that you've put a lot of effort into attaining as the reason to kind of onboard into the Web3 community. And so we think that's going to be a pretty natural way to bring users on. I do think you still have the existing users that are looking around for interesting games, and there's a combination of people that want to play for fun and play to earn, and that's kind of the whole idea of play to earn. It's not really play to earn, it's kind of play and earn, and there's always been these questions around the sustainability of this system, and this already exists in many major games, right? Even spanning back to World of Warcraft, people were playing, selling gold on gray markets, and so these types of systems existed before. The kind of issues that happen in crypto to some extent is the fact that you have the size of the player base whose pure focus is the monetization side can't be an overwhelming size of the user base, right? It's not really sustainable in that sense. So in those games, you had players that were able to monetize, but the majority of people were there to play for fun or to spend and play. And so the revenue model
it required money in to get money out.
Right, in terms of
play to earn doesn't work
I don't know,
because there isn't money in for money out.
No, play
right, but play money in is a product of kind of the amount of people that are playing the game and the amount of people. It's all net across the entire user base. So if a majority of the player base is there to extract value, it's not going to be sustainable. But when the game
Sorry, yeah, and I just want to very briefly, I want to go back to a point you said earlier. Before I've got another question for Sandeep right after, but question about play to earn and play and earn. The way I would explain it for the audience, and let me know if I got that right. Play to earn was people just coming in purely to make money. What's shifting now is that what needs to happen is that people need to come in, play those crypto games, and there needs to be two types of players. Ones that are going there to enjoy it, that don't mind losing money to enjoy the social aspect or the gaming aspect, and then people going in there to make money. Is that a way for you to explain it? Like how do you see the model moving forward? And again, just kind of explaining it for the general audience that hasn't, let's say people that haven't even played Axie Infinity yet.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great way to explain it, and I would break down the into three categories. You have the people that are purely there. I am treating this as a job, and I'm expecting to make X rate over time. You have the people that are there that are there for fun, are willing to spend some money, will, extract some value where they can, but like that's not their motivation. Sometimes they'll be net spenders, sometimes net extractors, depending on, if they got into the game really early and the game took off, they're likely going to be net extractors. And then you have the whales, and the whale element exists in traditional gaming as well, where you have this parallel distribution of where the revenue actually comes from your player base. And I think crypto actually expands that ceiling materially relative to the traditional gaming, where you make your money off of a smaller subset of users. I forget the exact percent, but it's a lot smaller than you think. I think it's a few percent accounts for over 90% of kind of the spend. And so you have, with crypto, you actually have a much higher ceiling on the capacity of those to spend. And that's a combination of just having this free market where everyone can buy and sell assets, and the ability to get liquidity on your assets. You're much more likely to put money into a game if there is the potential for you to actually redeem some out. So right, like I'm much more likely to spend 600 if I can probably sell it all for 500 than I am to spend 200 if I know it's a one-way street. And so I like all these kind of features do enable a higher level of spend, and it's all about really structuring the economy appropriately and making sure it's all.
I like how you say higher. Can I just pause? I said higher, higher level of spend, and can we just call shit what it is? Money doesn't come in if money doesn't go out, and money doesn't go out if money doesn't come in. So it's either advertising or otherwise subsidized money. So I love play to earn, and I love play and earn. I've actually been speaking with Sandeep for about 4 years. He doesn't know I am, but there is money earned off of transaction volume that can subsidize money in, money out, money out, money in. That I think is the most important part of the conversation that you're not having. And I know that we need to have a friendly conversation, but I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, man, I don't know what you're tired about, bro. I want to go to talking about Sandeep, man. First, Wahid, didn't you guys move to Polygon?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're a multi-chain, but we built on Polygon. Absolutely. Awesome.
Oh, shit. All right, cool. Well, there you go. But Sandeep, I'd love your thoughts on actually, my question for you is the metaverse, the concept of the metaverse. Facebook rebranded to Meta. That was all the hype, and humans are just stupid. At one stage, they're all hyped up. This is the sexiest thing. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a few months later, this is the worst decision ever, and the stock collapses, and Meta became a joke. The metaverse concept, people started making fun of it and talking about the metaverse being dead. Humans being humans. How will the metaverse look like? I think Jan gave us a great overview of gaming, and I would add gaming as an aspect of the metaverse, of like a Web3 ecosystem. But how do you see the metaverse evolving over the next few years? And people in the audience, I want to ask you two things from you guys. Number one, listen to the answer now, because getting into the space and understanding where to put your focus is key. So getting into Web3 gaming 3 years ago would have been a really good decision. As one example, getting into DeFi 3-4 years ago would have been a very good decision. So if you want to get into the concept of metaverse, I think the explanation now by Sandeep would be great. And then the second thing is, I want more questions from the audience in the bottom right corner, so I can ask our panelists later. We're going to kick off the pitches in about 10 minutes. We're going to have a few projects pitch, and we're going to break them down, ask them questions, and that should give a guide for entrepreneurs wanting to kick off in the space, and for investors if they're looking to invest. But Sandeep, how do you see the metaverse over the next, let's say, 12 to 24 months? Where will the adoption come? Where will the users come?
Yeah, absolutely. So on both of these fronts, like gaming as well as metaverse, I would first start with a more of a thesis-based thing, and then I'll talk about the specifics, like where do I see it in next 12 to 24 months and all that. So basically, we were talking about the games also, right? Like these Web3 games, blockchain-enabled games, decentralized games, why they are relevant and all that. And I think Jan also addressed a lot of things, that how these games basically allow people to have their own, to own fully the assets into the game. And we have seen so many scenarios where these big gaming studios, like people invest their years and years into playing them, create a really
highly ranked profile with so many assets and all that, and then suddenly you have some sort of political opinion and some government doesn't like it, and you are suddenly deplatformed, right? So, and imagine like if similar kind of thing happening with, let's say, something like Twitter also. Like Mario, you have like kind of built this amazing community. People talk to you and would love to come here and learn so many things. But suddenly, let's say that platform decides that you are no longer, like, you are not allowed to do because you said something, right? So and that's like, you almost realize, like, when you see it that way as a content creator or as an influencer, you realize that how unfair that is, right? And that's true to the gamers also. Like, I personally know so many of my friends who spent, like, months and months on some particular game, and then suddenly got blocked because some AI bot thought that they were doing some sort of memory level things in that side, right? So basically it's about the human rights. Like, I mean, it might look like a bit more abstract and kind of theoretical, but basically I see this entire Web3 campaign, whether it's like on the finance side, like with the DeFi, whether it's on the gaming side, whether it's metaverse and all that. It's about giving the ownership back to the individual instead of these third party institutions, these apps, because these apps owning those things, because we have started spending 60-70% of our times on these digital devices. And that's where, like, if our 70% of our life is going to be lived on these digital spaces, then things start having value on these spaces. And when the things start having value, like, obviously, with so many things, with their accounts and things like that, people have businesses built on top of YouTubes and Amazons of the world. You want to have those, you want to give people those fundamental rights, right? So this, for me, it's an evolution of like the growth of humanity, evolution of humanity to this next stage.
Sandeep,
right?
can I dive in short term, if you don't mind?
Please do.
It is my assumption that the difference between user growth and NFT adoption and why you're porting Utes DeGods is because the more people you can get behind NFT and have an ownership and access to what you've been building for probably about 6 years now, which is gaming, is the biggest adoption is grabbing people through NFTs.
Mm-hmm. So see, obviously gaming, what we recently, actually, it's also a fun story. Like, we can discuss that. I never really believed in these speculative art NFTs and all that, because I was very utility driven. But very recently, like, after you guys were discussing about this whole FTX thing and all that, teams, like, I personally have been fighting for mainstream adoption, and after all this, I realized that the mainstream adoption is going to be there, but it might be slowed down. So the use cases that will become prominent will be DeFi and NFTs and like niche Web3 use cases. And then I started looking into the volumes of these PFP NFTs and all that, and I realized that through the entire bear market, at least in the base prices, if it is ETH or some other base prices, the volumes actually survived in those bear markets also. So that means there has to be some sort of product market fit. And as we grow, what starts happening is that we stop being open minded to these things. And I realized that maybe if I am doing something, so I started going and bought one or two NFTs. Like, I actually bought one Ute and I started putting it over there. And I realized that there were 2-3 very good things with that. One, it instantly gave me a feeling of belonging. Like, I suddenly started everybody who has Utes, like, oh, hey, you also have Ute, and suddenly
and Utes, Sandeep, just Utes, for anyone who doesn't know, Utes is an NFT project, and yes. Sandeep is referring to one of the biggest Solana project, now moved to Polygon. Yes. And Sandeep, like it's crazy that the community is still there, the volumes are still there, the prices held up, the prices of these that are standing with a strong community.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying, that actually it opened my eyes also. And that's why, like, you see that always the alpha is what kids are doing, like early, like 21, 22. As a founder, it has been a big lesson to me that I should be hands on. Like, I should not have thought, like, theoretized about NFTs from sitting on the sidelines. I should have bought few NFTs and got that feeling, right? I think the people, whoever is using that NFT, there's instant sense of belonging. Like the way, if you are from Birmingham, if you meet anybody who's from Birmingham anywhere in the world, you have a sense of belonging. And then obviously you, like, people mint these NFTs and all that, and then you mint, like I recently participated in some mint. Even though it was a $50 NFT, I minted 10 of them, but one of them was like highly ranked, like rank 7 or something.
What did you mint?
It was, I think, Polygon Citizens or something like that, some small NFT mint I minted, right? So it was like that kick that I realized, oh, these 2-3 things are the product market fit. And third is the fun element. Like I had Utes, and then I already started thinking in 2-3 weeks that what should I change now, right? And then I stumble onto this Aave Gotchi team, gave me this. So Aave Gotchi is basically like like very OG Polygon punks of punks of crypto punks of Polygon, kind of like one of the most OG project. So I have now, and then a lot of Aave Gotchi people will ping me and all that, bro, this looks good and all that. So it's a sense of belonging. But coming back to the main thing, apart from the ownership, like because you have that, like imagine the same PFP, if this PFP I have, if Twitter was giving me just as an image, I will not have that depth of that feeling. Like I don't know how to explain it, but even though Twitter gave me the same NFT, same price, even if the prices were going up and all that, I don't think that I will have that feeling of belonging, that depth, that I own this. So that's actually some deep level kind of connection that we have. And that's why, like, I'll just finish my metaverse and gaming part, that I always do this exercise with everyone, that like whoever I'm talking to about Web3, like, now imagine that just go by first principles. Imagine you had 2 games or 2 social media. One is a decentralized social media where you own your followers. Let's do this exercise, because you guys have, like, massive followings and all that, and we have Wolf also here, right? So imagine that you have like built over multiple years with stressful work and all that, these communities where you own them today. This is Twitter version 1. And imagine you in next 5 years, you had a similar kind of decentralized Twitter where you own your followers. Like, if you are not kind of controlled by the platform. If you wanted to move out, you could move with your followers to some other UI and all that. Like, and this is same applicable to the game. Imagine you had the same game, same user experience. In one game, you own all the assets. You can go and sell them into the secondary market, versus another game which has the same user experience, but you don't have any control. Which one you will choose? And I think the answer would be astoundingly that, obviously you will choose the more decentralized part. So when you
Sandeep, let's get some alpha. Decentralized social, something I'm very passionate about. I used to talk a lot about. Now I don't talk about it as much anymore, just because I'm supporting Elon. I want to maintain that relationship. But which one? I used to talk a lot about DeSo, which was called BitClout back then. Yeah. Now I talk a lot about Favor, and they're built on Lens protocol. Any that you're interested in? Anyone that's listening would be.
Lens is my favorite. It has Stani at the helm, who has built this decentralized protocol. Aave, one of the most popular DeFi protocols and all that. I think that leadership and their community ethos heavily move the needle.
You've heard it first. We got Sandeep from Polygon. Just gave a shout out to Lens Protocol, which I agree 100%. I'm actually very, very impressed by the amount of growth they've had, the amount of adoption they're having. I'm talking about adoption from influencers and investors.
Shameless plug also, Mario. Shameless plug that it's powered by Polygon, like it's built on Polygon.
Oh shit! Okay. No, I didn't know they built. No, man, I'm sitting there talking about Chinese balloons and Ukraine war. I'm too busy. I'm talking about Andrew Tate and shit.
So, Mario, like, you will be surprised when you find so many. Like, Elon Musk launched his NFT, right? You will be surprised that NFT also lives on Polygon. Like, Mark Cuban and all those NFTs, they all live on Polygon.
You guys are killing it. You guys are killing it. I swear, you guys are doing so well.
Yeah. And then some of the kind of games, like right now, I can tell you the topmost studios in the world are right now building Web3 games, because they see the potential here, the potential of
it's across the ages. I don't know. Are they built on Polygon? Do you know, or Solana?
Which one? Cross the ages.
Cross the ages. They've been getting a lot of traction now. They'll be coming up on stage shortly. I'm gonna ask them what they're built on. I'm not sure. That'd be funny.
But
yeah, I'll ask him to come on.
Slightly
Let me ask him. Let me bring him up now because I'll be pitching next. So we're gonna kick off the pitches very shortly. Just want to introduce the
Mary,
rest
can
of
I
our
jump
speakers.
in with some breaking news because
Oh shit!
I think it's
What
quite
is it?
interesting. We've seen the first ever DeFi project charged for criminal fraud in the US.
Shit, who's that?
Founders just happened in the last few minutes. Forsage, they've been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and if convicted, the four of them could face 20 years in prison. And this is very big for DeFi because DeFi is seen as a complete mess and a scam and a Ponzi, and there are legit projects out there who suffer because of it. So to see this, first ever case where a DeFi project has been charged with a criminal offense is very significant for the industry. Long term, to hopefully clean it up and legitimize it, to be honest. So I despite the fact that I'm heavily involved in DeFi, I very much support this kind of thing because I think we need to make people very afraid to defraud people through DeFi because especially in 2021, we saw project after project, many of them launched, by US citizens with offshore companies just operating outside the law, removing large amounts of money from their holders with various ways. So it's really interesting. This is really big breaking news.
And there's also an investigation into what's that? The Top Shot as well. No, was that today?
Yes, you're right. I think someone mentioned that in the prep, didn't they? In the Spaces prep we were talking earlier on.
And I think there's another SEC. There's an SEC investigation to a company called Evergrow. I saw as well in the news today.
Very funny. Don't say that. People will think
it's a joke. It's a joke, everyone. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm pretty bad at jokes. It's a joke, everyone. Evergrow, Sam's company, an incredible company.
This isn't live. This isn't live. No, this space. We'll edit that bit out for the podcast.
Yeah, don't worry. This isn't a live space. Yeah, exactly. We'll crop it out later so no one will hear this.
No, but I mean, for me, that's big news. Sorry to interrupt the flow because it's really interesting.
No, I love breaking news, man. I love breaking news. But that's big news. Have you guys, Sandeep, have you been in communication with the SEC? Has Polygon faced any? How are regulators? How was their response to Polygon in 2019? How's their response now?
I think we have not been reached out by any of the regulators as of now. But I think we have been reached out, like, for example, some of the Indian regulated agencies reached out for some information regarding, blockchain transactions because they don't really understand that. And I've even taken some sessions for the government officials, across the globe in various countries to make them understand what is blockchain.
Has North Korea, be honest, has North Korea hacked you guys? Because we had Axie, I can't remember who, the founder of Axie on our show, talking about how his mom warned him when he got into crypto, hey, North Korea is going to attack you. And then obviously he got hacked by North Korea. Have they messed around with you guys?
I think Lazarus Group, I don't think there is any project which has not been hit by them in some form or the other. I think back in the day, they from some of our finance guys, they stole like 100K or something. But we don't keep our larger funds in unsecured, they're always multi-sig secured by hardware ledgers and all that. So we have been safe with God's grace, but yeah, they are. You can't stay away from them for long.
Well, you've got the badge of honor, the North Korean badge of honor. By the way, across the ages, are you guys on Polygon or Solana? Pretend you can't. If you're not on Polygon, pretend you can't unmute your mic. Trust me.
Hello, everyone.
Hey man, which? I'll give you guys the mic to introduce yourself a bit later. But I'm just curious. Are you on Polygon or Solana?
Polygon.
Yeah.
Hey, Sandeep, there's another one. Let's see.
It's a whole house, man.
Yeah, I know. We're good.
Mario, I think Solana, maybe because it's a US project and all that, they have been able to do a lot of retail marketing. Of course, they have good community and all that, all the respect to them and all that. But I think about Polygon, still people don't know the extent of the adoption that Polygon has had. In the gaming, you will find at least 60 to 65% of all the games which are being built, some of the top names that you will know, you will find out that they are all built on Polygon.
If I launch Mario Kart, I should do it. Oh, by the way, I'm a big fan of just Solana peeps. I've tweeted about Solana during all the FUD. I tweeted positively about Solana, got a lot of hate. I love Solana, big fan of Solana. But if I launch Mario Kart, Sandeep, I should do it on Polygon, I guess.
Absolutely. If you are doing anything, we would love to have you, do
Mario Coin on Polygon.
But I think
By the way,
like what you said is also a part about PFP community. Like, I think Solana has that like one segment where PFP tokens or these PFP NFTs where they've been doing well. Luckily, like, we in the last 2-3 months have grown a lot, and you will see like, even I think we have already started doing Polygon is doing like, half or I think 50-60% of Solana volume also. So that community is growing very fast, especially
Sandeep,
when you
I have a question. I just want to kind of give a shock to the audience. So I need your Shibtoshi and your help very briefly before I go to Frank and Dubsy and Alan and then kick off the pitches. Question for you, and then the same question to Shibtoshi. If I put in $1,000 into Polygon in the seed round, how much would it be worth now?
I think you would, but I mean, I generally avoid talking about the price. Like,
let's do it. Come on.
Shibtoshi answer it, but I think it's like roughly from that seed price, it's like 4,000x or something like that, if I'm not wrong, right? 4,000, yeah, 4,000x. And but there were a lot of people who participated in the seed round, like very small, because we could hardly raise 160K at that point in time. You now see we only did like a big VC round last year, and I think that's also the spirit of Web3, where the retail gets to get, or the smaller kind of token community members get early. Like, we did a Binance IEO, so a lot of retail people got into that, by a Binance IEO.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Please.
Why the 20% layoff today?
Please. Why 20%? Yes. So I mean, we last year, as I said, that we raised like $450 million from the VCs and all that, and we went hard on the mainstream adoption. That's why you all know that all these biggest of the biggest, like,
the mainstream adoption is doing great. So I'm confused.
It's doing amazing.
Why only Sandeep? Why only 20%? That's what Fidgetal means.
But basically, you would also see that in the last 1.5 years, we acquired 3 different protocols, merged them into the Polygon teams, which brought in a lot of redundancies. Multiple teams, like Polygon Gaming team, Polygon Studios was a separate team of 120 people, so brought in a lot of redundancies. And in these kind of markets where the macro is unclear, where we are going and all that, it's always good. And I think all the mature companies or protocols are trying to optimize for the long haul, because this is not a sprint. This is a marathon for next 10 years, right? So we need to optimize for that, and reduce a lot of redundancies and become more efficient. Like, that's the thing, and that's why we did it.
I wanna quickly go to. I wanna just. So go ahead, Fidgetal.
Why not 40% or 60%?
Because like, I think like for now, whatever looks optimal for us, like, for sets us for next 2 to 3 years, 4 years properly. That's good enough, like, in terms of our cash balance and everything. Like, we are set for, as I said, that overall treasury would be in excess of $2 billion. But like, especially the cash balance and all that, for next 3 to 5 years, if we are comfortable, I think that's the perfect way. That's why, like, we thought 20%.
I'm gonna go Shibtoshi. Let's shock everyone a bit. Anyone outside of crypto, Shibtoshi, quickly tell us again. You put in $8,000 into Shiba Inu. What was that? What was it worth at the bottom when Shiba Inu collapsed?
It was just under $8.
$8. So you put in 6,000, not 8,000, correct?
No, I put in a little over $8,000.
8,000. So I can't believe the story is fucking insane. You put in $8,000. It was worth $8 at the bottom, and then how much is it worth now?
Currently it is worth, one second. Currently it's worth $1.3 billion.
Fucking mental.
He's just opened his trust wallet to look at that. Let's have a quick look.
Go ahead, Sandeep.
Let me tell you a very big story on the Shiba tokens, and why, like, my kind of attachment to Shiba is that Vitalik, like, I think Shiba team originally, they donated like a 50% supply to
50%.
Vitalik, right? And then 50% supply to Vitalik. And then this was the time where in India had a huge Delta wave of, COVID, and people were dying left, right, and center. Even my family had COVID and all that. and I got like super pissed with COVID coronavirus and all that, and I tweeted that I am doing a fundraise. I was outside of India, and I will raise money and then transparently send it across to India and all that. And I thought that maybe people will donate 1 million, 2 million, all that. First few days it
that wasn't the
started
case.
crazy. And then I think on the 10th day Vitalik donated $1 billion of Shiba Inu tokens to this fund, right? And then what happened is that Vitalik also thought that this would be like probably $10 million as per the liquidity and all that, right? But and then obviously I had the responsibility that I couldn't just hold on to those tokens, because if I hold and the price goes to zero, or goes less, people will tell me, why did you hold on, why did not you sell it immediately and all that. But I communicated to the Shiba community that, guys, we will not dump everything into the retail markets. We will communicate to you transparently and sell it over 3-4 months. Like how much the fund was able to take out? $474 million in USD, right? And that is like, now, even though like in India, foreign donations and like crypto is kind of difficult to provide, we have still been able to send like 60 million in a very kind of a very, very compliant and scrutinized way, plus $100 million we gave back to Vitalik, who is donating all across the world for these moonshot projects in the healthcare segment. So imagine so many good things that Shiba community has been able to do. And the most heartwarming thing to me was that when this huge $1 billion came in the donation, and everybody had this kind of concern that this will get dumped into the market. Imagine what Shiba retail community, like I was so happy to see that everybody, like most of the community, was supported. It's like, okay, even if it gets some, it's these are meme tokens, and we talk about the utility and all that, but I think community aspect is really, really huge in Web3. And as I said, that one of the best moments I experienced in my crypto journey. So
that was actually one of the catalysts for Shiba Inu. That was right before we really started doing it.
Man, Shibtoshi, what were you doing before you became a billion? Before you became worth hundreds of millions now?
Well, before Bitcoin. Before Bitcoin. Well, I won't get too personal, but you could normally find me at the high limit poker tables at the area in the Bellagio in Vegas.
Oh shit! All right, you don't have a sexy story that you were like a waiter in some restaurant, bought some Bitcoin, and became a millionaire. That's not the story that you have.
No, I first heard about Bitcoin in 2010, but I actually didn't get involved in it until 2011. I actually was told about it by my buddies on the poker table. They were talking about online poker games and how they got into it with Bitcoin. So I actually started researching it, and when I found out that you could actually take Bitcoin and turn it back into fiat, I was all in. So I jumped in doing my research and started dollar cost averaging. My first Bitcoins I bought were about $30,000 worth. I lost them that night on the poker table, but that didn't deter me. I continued to accumulate, and as I won poker games, I accumulated a bigger position, and then with profits started dollar cost averaging. And one of my good buddies, the Huntsman, I was begging him to buy Bitcoin in the very early days, and the last time I think I started twisting his arm was when Bitcoin was around $150. And
I want to quickly. Can I ask Mario? Can I ask Shibtoshi something really quick? So was this one of the earliest use cases of Bitcoin? Was on the poker? Is that because it's illegal in the US to gamble? So I'm not saying it's a bad way.
No.
I'm just saying, is that why Bitcoin was being used?
No, it's not illegal to gamble in the US. It was just one of the ways to move money. Normally you bring money to the casino wired in, and you play at the table, but there was some poker games popping up online, and that was just the means of actually getting in. So all the stakes was in Bitcoin. So all the pot was in Bitcoin. So you do your game.
Go ahead, Shibtoshi. What's your address? I want to kick off the
address.
Both. I want to kick off the pitches now. So I want to introduce our great investors here as we prepare for the pitches. Frank, Dubsy, Alan, pleasure to have you guys. Frank, would love a quick introduction, man, and thank you so much for making the time to join us today. Frank, you there, bro?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, man, we can hear you perfectly fine.
Well, first of all, I want to say a very good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all your wonderful listeners who have tuned in. Just a bit introduction about myself. So I got into cryptocurrency precisely in 2011. I've been in network marketing for about 26 years now. And one of the affiliate marketing projects that I'd partnered with, we were formerly using Liberty Reserve as a mode of payment. Then guess what? The US government had to shut down that payment processor. So one of the founders of the project came up with Bitcoin, and for me at that time it was a bit new to me. The name sounded so exciting, Bitcoin. So I got most of my team members in to using that module of payment.
When was that? When was that, man?
That was in 2011.
Jesus Christ!
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes. So
and now you're a
founders,
billionaire as well.
Well, sort of. So these founders, what I love to say is that they are very innovative. One door gets shut, another door opens. So when they introduced that module of payment, I immediately got my new team members that were joining into the project to find various vantage points in their respective countries to have access to that. And to me, it was quite fascinating that they were able to land themselves some Bitcoins to sign up into the project.
Mm.
But going forward, I was like, this name sounds so like enticing, but what really is Bitcoin? So I was compelled to delve into reading much about this whole, what we call it, cryptocurrency. The more I read about it, the more exciting it got. And as I was reading, I was watching a couple of YouTube videos, and the altcoin, the altcoin narrative popped up. I saw a couple of altcoins.
That was insane. I mean, that was started hyping up like crazy. Where are you at now? Like, are you still investing heavily in the space? How much?
Yes,
what's the assets under management?
So currently, I'm much more focused into DeFi, and DeFi has been one of the key sectors in this whole blockchain. Let me use the word industry that is really popping off so well. Well, back in 2016, 2017, when this whole cryptocurrency was booming, we saw the sprung of ICOs, and most of the ICOs went into DeFi. And right after that, we saw what NFTs and Metaverse spring up. But what I want to really, take advantage of to highlight right before we commence this whole pitches.
Very briefly, bro, because we have to start the pitches.
Yeah, sure. These four things, and I got this from one of my colleagues. They are actually two people, Ian Heinich and B. Roots. These are very, very wonderful guys in the space that are doing extremely well in the industry. Well, now, the four key sectors that I would love all the projects that will be coming up to really, give us pitches on. Number one, they need to have a strong narrative. Number two, they need to have a very powerful community. Three, it has to have a very marketable, like they need to have a great marketing back in the project. And four,
to build the community.
And four, it needs to have a utility backing it up.
All right, love it. So, and I'll go. So strong marketing, a strong utility, a community, and what was the first one?
The first one is community.
Community. Second one?
Utility.
All right.
Marketing, narrative, and
then marketing. Got it.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect, bro. I appreciate it, man. Dubsy, good to have you, man.
Good to be here, Mario.
How are
I don't
you?
want to take up too much. I'm good, man. I'm good. It's great to be here. I've been in your spaces many times as a listener, but first time up on stage.
No, I appreciate you coming up on stage, man. I would love a quick intro, man, and would love you to join us for the pitches that will kick off in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll make it quick because I don't want to take up too much time. Obviously, excited to hear some pitches. But personally, I'm really excited about projects that onboard new users. that don't really know they're using blockchain technology. So maybe apps that are backed by blockchain, but have the ability to make transfers if required on blockchain, but the day-to-day user can use it without having their own wallet or having to be technically inclined. Because I think that's a huge barrier to entry for a lot of projects.
That's true.
And then,
and they need to be built on Polygon, I guess. I'm actually going to do the first two projects will be Polygon projects. As Sandeep, we got Polygon on stage, so Polygon will get special treatment today. What are your thoughts on Polygon, Dubsy? Polygon or Solana? Where are you at?
I actually like both. And one thing that I will say about Polygon, that Sandeep's here, is there was a lot of controversy over the Utes transfer and people saying that Utes shouldn't have gone to Polygon. But I think that was one of the best marketing stunts that we've seen.
That was insane. That was Sandeep. Was that your idea? That was fucking mental. I was outside the space for a bit, obviously with the show. Whose idea was this? That was brutal.
That was that was one of our team members idea. But the main thing was it's like actually it was not about youths. It's about Frank. Like we have been following Frank for quite some time. Like Frank, who was the leader of
the founder, the founder of the biggest Solana NFT. So for the audience, just quickly for the audience, before we answer Sandeep, the biggest. I want to kick off the pitches, but Sandeep, Polygon, Utes, the biggest NFT project on Solana, which is Polygon's competitor in some ways, but they can coexist. Of course, I love both. Moved to Polygon, and they got, I think, paid actually about 10 million or whatever.
No. But Sandeep, like that's the false news. Like a lot of Solana communities try to spread that they got paid a very good amount. But that's actually the amount is much lesser. Even the publicly announced one is like $3 million and all that. But a lot of it is like yes, exactly. And then a lot of it is like milestones and staking yield based and all that. It's not like the cash reward and all that. And there are multiple other projects from not only Solana but multiple different other blockchains which have moved over to Polygon. Many of them actually from some of these alt L1s, I don't want to exactly name, got paid like double-digit millions. Actually, like this is the FUD that everybody tried to spread that so that they can hide this fact that people are moving to Polygon. That Polygon.
You guys are hold on, Sunny. You guys are cheap. Come on, pay him more. I'm joking. I want to go to. I want to go to.
Like,
go ahead, Brad.
I just want to end like last this part. Like I just want to tell you one figure that the BD budget of Polygon last year was probably 1/10 of some of these alt L1s, like for example Solana itself, because I know
you guys are frugal.
Exactly. But then we did not refute that comment because that comment was the best comment for Polygon, because then what it started happening, tens of projects which were not which were building on Solana or some other blockchains, they started coming to us because they thought that they can get some money out of it. And 2 out of 10 projects are actually good projects who want to come over for the community and being Ethereum friendly and all that. They actually came in. So our inbound went through the roof. That's why we never refuted that comment, to be honest.
I don't know. Some rumors are good to keep. So if someone spreads a rumor, what was the rumor? I went to the World Economic, Wahid, who's on stage now, forced me to go to Davos World Economic Forum, and then I literally had a speaker message me today. Mario, we're not gonna go on stage. I want to find a message. We're not gonna go on stage with Mario because he's part of the establishment. He went to the World Economic Forum, and he's part of Klaus and who are the other guys, the billionaire Soros and all them. I'm not gonna refute this rumor. So if you guys think I went there and had one-on-one meetings with Soros, I'm gonna take that criticism. I don't mind it. So keep spreading those rumors. So I want to go to Alan. Alan, good to have you, man. Last introduction before we kick off the pitches. Quick intro. What's your focus now as an early investor? And we'll start with the pitches.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm an early stage tech nerd. Been in the space for a long time now. I experimented first with crypto around 2013 because a couple things happened. I powered the first I powered a crowdfunding platform with my previous business. We were kind of pioneers in that space, and we powered one by a guy named Adam Draper called Boost, and Boost became the first Bitcoin accelerator ever. And he was in the seed round of Coinbase, for example, and he knew crypto, and we got to learn about crypto from him. And so we started experimenting to see if we could use crypto for micropayments. And immediately, it didn't really work out. We almost got kicked out of our building by our landlord for mining some tokens in our office and heating up the place. And it was good times, but I kept an eye on it for a long time. And when that company ultimately failed, and I kind of joined one of the funds who had invested in us, decided to kind of go all in on this space. So I'm a crazy early investor person. I like to be the first check into a company. And I'm super long. I'm a terrible trader. So hearing all these trading stories are awesome, because on one hand, I could have participated, but I was telling, my friends and family, like, don't buy Doge on your credit card, and then them being pissed at me because they didn't buy Doge on their credit card.
Tell me, I'm the same, man. I'm the same. I never traded, and I just come in early, but not as early as you. Let's see if you
throw one more extra thing on Polygon, because it seems to be like this is just the Polygon love fest. So
I was gonna say, Don, enough. No, enough. It's too much, man. Like I usually try to keep my spaces balanced.
It's part shill, part love to Polygon. I'm a huge fan, and I've been following them from the beginning, since before they were called Polygon. And one of our portfolio companies, Rivet, actually powers kind of the RPCs and powers nodes on Ethereum and some of the other networks. And I know there was an issue with Polygon earlier today, and it just so happened while you guys were talking about Polygon, they were posting on how they kind of figured it out. And if anybody is building, and I think it obviously sounds like a great time to be building on Polygon, check out rivet.cloud. I'm going to shill them for a second, just because they're one of the first to figure out the issue right now on Polygon. And they're up to date on all the stuff. So even Polygon Scan is about an hour behind. They're up to date. And I know, I don't know, Sandeep, I think you may know the guys at Rivet.
We'll do the intro. I'll let you guys. Beautiful. All right, guys. I'm going to kick it off. Sandeep, let's kick off the first Polygon project. I'm going to kick off the picture. So for anyone that doesn't know, Sam will start a timer. It'll go on for 90 seconds. Projects will pitch. We used to do this back in the old days. It's been a while. Projects will pitch, and then we'll get objective feedback from the panel for a few minutes, asking questions. The audience could ask questions in the bottom right corner and tell us whether they love it or hate it. And then I'll be tweeting out their links as well for anyone that wants to check them out. Got a bunch of projects pitching. We're going to start with, we got the second one will be Faith, and the first one will be Cross the Ages, which is, guys, my team loves you guys, and I'm a big fan of Web3 gaming. So, and my team don't love a lot of projects. So let's see why they love you so much. Are you there?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Man, make sure the mic is close to your mouth. Sam, let us know when the timer starts. And Cross the Ages, you got to be quick, to the point, got to impress the guys on stage. Let's see if you get a check either from the audience or from the stage, or you get some grilling questions. And Fijiro's a co-host. I cannot mute him, and he generally grills. So let's make Fijiro like you guys. Sam, let us know when the space is, the time starts.
Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Sam. I'm the CEO and founder of Cross the Ages. We build more than a game. We build a whole universe. I come from the gaming industry, spending like 11 years to building game, owner of 7 studios, more than 350 IP. Cross the Ages is the first project with 5 publishers inside the universe. It's a game, TCG, but also an MMORPG, and MOBA, and based on an IP book with 7 writers, more than 100 artists, team from Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Marvel, DC Comics. Very interesting because we already generate in few months more than 5.5 million revenue, and we already mint 700K cards. We launched the marketplace last Saturday, 750,000 in 24 hours. And we have like a very large amount of people playing to the game. The game going to be released officially for everyone end of March. And now, it is the early access where we have like more than 4 to 5K player every day and more than 20,000 people.
4 to 5K players every day right now.
4 to 5K player every day. And we have like 20,000 people already, here. The pack, we created the pack, on OpenSea. So this pack, was on Polygon, and the pack.
That's your time, I'm afraid. That's time up. But we can move to questions.
I'll give you another. I interrupted him, so another 10 seconds, man. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
So the pack today, made like 250x if you go on Polygon. In bear market, I think it's pretty nice, pretty good. So yeah. So this is Cross the Ages quickly.
Your numbers are pretty impressive, man. Why? Go ahead, Alan.
Oh, I was just going to ask, you mentioned that the game launches in March, but you have 4,000 to 5,000 players a day. How do they play if the game hasn't launched yet?
Very good question. The player gets, an early access, with the pack. When we mean the pack, we created 20,000 pack, and every player was able, to start an early access in November. For us, it was like the good way, to scale the game and to be sure that everything will be The game is working in mobile, iOS, and Android, also like on computer. And this is the best way for us to trying everything step by step.
And how much have you raised so far? You said you did a 12, token round.
12 million in November.
You've raised. Sorry, man. You've raised $12 million.
Yes. With 68.
Et tu parles français? Tu es en France?
Ouais.
Oh, voilà.
Voilà.
Beautiful. South of France is beautiful.
South of France.
Shit. And when did you raise the 12 million?
In November 2021, we raised in 4 weeks. So we have you have Ubisoft, Square Enix, Polygon.
And you've got NFTs and tokens, correct?
Yes, exactly. So the raise was only in token.
And what's the daily active users now?
So today we have more than 4K user, and they're playing an average of 1 hour.
And are they making money right now, or it's too early right now in the beta version?
No, they're doing money.
Token
they
launch
generate.
Price.
The
token launch price.
Please. Sorry?
Token launch price. Private, public.
I've sent you the prices on the group, Fiji. Let me send it to you again now in our group. Yeah, you can ask for them now. I've also sent you some stuff in the group as well, so you can check it out in the meantime. Yeah, go ahead, bro. What's the token? No, don't shut up, bro. I sent you more info on them in the group, so you got a bit more details, the deck and everything. Cross the Ages, what's the token launch price?
So for today, what happened. The seed and the private was closed in November, and then also the pre-sale, and we're gonna launch the token end of the year 2023, because we believe that it's good to build a game and build community before launching everything. And like with the current market, we think it's gonna be like even better for us like to wait a little bit and to still grow up our community.
So how does the token integrate into the game?
So today, you have 3 different tokens. You have the token himself. The CTA token is off chain for now and it's going to be like convert with a real one for the TGE. You have a Trisol. The first one, it's like an in-game token that you can only win. You're spending time to that. You can't buy it. The second one is a Prana. It's fixed price to buy, cosmetic, chess, card, and everything. And the last one is CTA token to give you like many advantage. You don't need CTA token to play to the game. However, when you have it, you can be owner of NFT. You can make competition. You can rent your card. You can transform your card from NFT to physical. This game is a Web 2 game scaled back to the Web 3. It's like a new approach. It's an hybrid game, and this is why this is the first game on the world with 5 publishers behind. It's the first time that's happened. Usually, you have one publisher.
How does the token maintain in a token economics or tokenomics ecosystem? How does it maintain value?
And before you answer that one, Cross, just for the audience, if you got questions or thoughts, I've just pinned a tweet above. I'll tweet for every pitch and every sponsor above, so you can ask questions or give your thoughts in the pinned tweet. So scroll up at the top, you'll see it there. But yeah, and Fiji, when you ask that question, can you just tell the audience what you mean by that question, why it matters?
So
just for anyone that's not too technical.
I'll balance between deep Web3 talk and Web2 talk. When you're printing, this is good actually. I like this. When you're printing magic internet money, just like when the government prints magic paper money, right, or digital money, how does the value of that magic money, or whether it's printed or or created digitally, how does it maintain itself, right? And this is not a knock on you. These are token economics. These are token economies, and they're based off of money in, money out, right? By definition, right?
Yeah. So essentially, what you mean is that what sustains the value of the token beyond people buying it because it wants to go up? Like, what are people going to be using it for in the game? Is that a kind of simple way of asking your question,
Yes.
Fiji?
If it's that, it's pretty easy. We spent 7 months with Animoca Brands to design a token economic, and we use exactly all the fail for the other project. In fact, the basis of Cross the Ages is how the token will have an utility. You can't be owner of NFT if you don't have on stake 10 CTA token. So if you want to play to the competition, you need to have 20, 50 if you want to rent, 100 if you want to transform your card, 500 if you want to get the airdrop of one exclusive card per week, 1,000 and 2,000. Today, with the early access, we have people already buy some CTA token off chain, and we have on average 900 CTA token stake per player. It's pretty high, and it shows us that people will really need to get this token to have like the exclusive card that they're gonna print or they're gonna get for the tournament. And then so it's
I want to ask you another.
Sure,
why Polygon?
Why not?
Wrong answer.
Bro, come on. That's what made you go with Polygon, not Solana or?
No, more seriously. The game is multi-chain, so we're using IMX for the part of the game himself, but we're using also Polygon for the pack, because when we start to list the pack on OpenSea, Polygon was one of the 3 chain available and able to, and they have like a good ecosystem, and we met like.
But are there any speakers that have a question? I see Garlem, Sam, just quickly. Any speakers that want to ask? I forgot. Sandeep, Shiptoshi, Dubzi, Alan, Jan, and Garlem is on stage as well. And of course, Wahid, if you have any questions, just unmute and jump in, or just put your hand up, whatever you like. But go ahead, Sam.
That Polygon was why not? Polygon is the innovator of ZK rollups, of sharding, of literally everything that an L2 should be. I'll ask for a better answer.
Oh, cool. So we spend.
So give us a better shill of Polygon.
I already give a chill of Polygon. When I say that we are on board Polygon, we think that the future is multi-chain, and we need to be prepared for that. As the game for us, the gaming experience is very good to have a Web2 game scalable to the Web3. So for us, the combination of using Polygon and IMX is very good. In different aspects, and we are really happy, to have like those both.
Sam, I know you've got a question before you go.
Yeah, I want to ask just on the subject. Just Polygon are investors in the project.
Yes.
Sam, cool. Sam pulling a Sam. I swear to God,
it's relevant, man.
I love you, man.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's relevant.
I wanna just quickly. So we got across the ages and faith, both Polygon projects. So Sandeep, we're gonna have. I know you gotta go. The team messaged me behind the scenes. So I want you to hear both these pitches because they're both Polygon projects, and give us your thoughts on both of them and which one you prefer. How's that, Sandeep? I want to put you on the spot this time. Don't pretend your mic is not working, Sandeep. Now that I'm putting you on the spot. Sandeep, it's not going to work. I'm going to DM you, and I'm going to have you choose between Cross the Ages and Faith. You're not going to get out of this one. Now watch Sandeep glitch out like Hunter Biden glitched out when I put him on the spot a few months ago.
That was epic.
He's here. Hey, Sandeep, do you hear
No, it's 4 a.m. for me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Man, I appreciate
How are you joining this call, man?
I know, man. But this is so engaging. Like I was chatting with the team already, Mario, that I might not stay for long, but the discussion is so engaging. Like I decided,
I want one favor from you, because I'm gonna get a lot of hate, because usually I don't shill anything personally, but it's been a great Polygon shill fest. So I want you to choose between Cross the Ages and Faith Tribe, both great projects, both I'm vested in, both on Polygon. Which one you prefer? Did you hear Cross the Ages pitch? Did you hear it, Sandeep?
I heard them, but it's very hard for me to choose, bro. Like, because both of them, Cross the Edges is doing gaming, which I like a lot, and Faith Tribe is doing on the, like the on the fashion designers on that, which is mainstream adoption. So it's very hard for me to choose. Like, both of them are pretty solid teams, obviously. I'm sorry, I can't choose.
I don't know, man. I don't know. At least you didn't glitch out like Hunter Biden. You got more guts than Hunter Biden. So respect that. So Dubsy, jump in, man. You're taking another couple of questions.
Sandeep, I have a call with your team on Thursday. Just answer my DMs. Until then, we hate Polygon and we love what do we love?
Don't. You're not allowed to abuse your pals as a co-host. It's not part. There's an SOP for being a co-host. Dubsy, jump in, man. Another couple of questions for Cross the Ages, and we'll go to Faith.
Yeah, I just have 2 questions for Cross the Ages. Number one, if you said the game's not released yet, but people can play now. If I wanted to play now, what would I need to do? And then number 2 would be, when the game is released, what will be the barrier to entry for a new player? They just need to have a wallet, or what is going to be required for a normal person to try to play?
Very good question. First, we just give it to Mario, the access and the code.
Yeah, there's a link. The team tweeted above. Yeah, I pinned it above for anyone who wants to play. Even if you don't have, Jesus, got a lot of impressions. Even if you don't have, if it's not hard, there's a link there, and you can click on it and go through the process. But yeah, since when do my sponsored posts get that many impressions? All right, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No worry. This is the first thing. So you can, try the game from now. You have a code, to access to the game. And then, for the release end of March, the game, you don't need any kind of wallet. You just need, an address email, because it's a Web2 game. And we created a system where it's completely free to play. So our model economic is to give the way, for the people to try a game, to enjoy the game, because it's a play and earn. And we use this word more than 2 years and a half ago. We started to use this word in September 2020, and it's scalable. So if you want to go deeper and have like a deeper experience, you can mint your card. So you can pass from digital card to NFT, and you can pass from NFT to NFC and receive your physical card at home. And we're working with
I'm in, bro. I like you guys. And now I see why the team likes you. I was just going through your website while you're speaking at this. Any other questions before we jump into Faith? And by the way, warning, I don't know if Wahid is too tired, but Faith could get Wahid could get a bit heated when he's pitching. So this is Wahid on a normal day. So just a disclaimer before he jumps in, because I know a lot of people in World Economic Forum kind of freaked out when Wahid took the mic. So just a warning before Wahid takes the mic. Any more questions for Cross the Ages? What do you think, Alan? Do you like the project?
Looking at the website right now, I love card games. I love this kind of stuff. It's a little later stage than I normally look at, but so I was actually looking through the comments below, and somebody asked a question that I was going to ask as well, which I'm sure a lot of the listeners are wondering is, you raised $12 million. What was that spent on, and why
how much do you have left
today? Yeah,
and why exactly? Why are you raising more money if you got 12 million, man?
We're not raising more money now. We generate revenue, and we created an MMO and also, MOBA, and like those kind of game is pretty expensive. We created an interoperability between the different game. You're going to use exactly the same NFT on the same game, the same token on the same game, and we're building a whole ecosystem. And this is what we believe, when you created an IP, this is like the thing, the more solid. If you take like the example of Pokemon, Assassin's Creed, and all this game, having an IP, a solid IP behind them, you can really create something sustainable for the long term.
Did I miss how much Sandeep or Polygon put into it? And how much?
Excuse me, I didn't.
How much did Sandeep invest? He's asking. How much did Polygon invest?
Token, cash, or dev debt?
Oh, see with him.
I'm asking you.
If you want to disclose
I'm asking you.
That's very interesting.
Kind of trouble.
You're not gonna Sandeep. Pidgey, you wanted Sandeep to answer your call. You just fucked it all up, man.
I think he didn't choose between us and Faith Tribe. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Sandeep, I'm gonna send you Fidji's number so you can add it to your block list.
Got 3 numbers now.
No worries. No. Actually, we should if he's comfortable telling, I have no problem. Like, we have a 100 million venture fund, which actually is supposed to be investing in top games. And I'm actually happily surprised that we are, you guys praised across the ages so much. I'm happily surprised that we are already invested. That's the good part. So yeah, please go ahead. Like, if you want to, if their confidentiality allows, please go ahead.
Yeah, Korshed, you gonna share that?
No problem. So Polygon invests 250,000 in the private round.
They didn't even get seed, man. It's Polygon. What are you doing? All right, guys. Anyway, great pitch. Anyone that's interested in investing or playing the game, I pinned a tweet above, and I'll be. You can DM us and we can connect you. If you're listening to the replay or you're listening on other channels, DM us and we'll just connect you to Across the Ages. Great pitch, guys. Wahid, are you with us, my friend? Wahid, I know it's 2 a.m. your time. You still awake?
2 seconds, because I know that Sandeep at least this was like a year ago. He either throws around 250 of his own money, he throws 250 of token, or 250 of dead, as much as his little coffee cup that has a heart there, which I love. But I won't ask anymore. Just understand that if you are building on Polygon, Sandeep and Polygon are incredibly good at supporting projects, building especially.
Gee, what is it? Love and hate. It's like stick and carrot approach. I love Polygon. Did you invest? How much did you invest? Polygon is great. They invest a lot of money. Polygon is not great. They don't call me.
I'm just trying to build my pitch for Thursday. It's okay.
Wahid, are you with us? Faith, Wahid, you're muted, man. I'll give you another few seconds. Let me get Shibtoshi up. Oh, Shibtoshi's here. Wahid, are you there? All right. While we're waiting for Wahid, I think he just fell asleep on the phone. Shibtoshi, how are you, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here amongst some titans in the space.
Appreciate you being here. Bandicoot will be right after you. Shibtoshi, you've been on the space before. You're am I allowed to call it a meme coin? Am I allowed to call Squid Grow a meme coin?
I refer to us as a utility meme coin.
Utility meme. That's actually a good cool name. And Sam actually told me before the space. Sam, can I share what you said to me before the space about Squid Grow?
Well, I'm happy to say it myself. Yeah, that, I mean, obviously with someone who says that they're a massive whale and things like this, what I can say is that someone within my team has verified that, and this is legit. This is the real deal, and I can sort of put my reputation on that. I just want to say sort of personally that I do vet a lot of projects in my space, because obviously Squid Grow is in my space, and I found myself on a panel with someone for the first time who's very much in my space, and I just want to sort of say, transparently, that my team did vet their project, and yeah, it's the real deal, and Shibtoshi is who he says is, and I think that is relevant for this conversation.
Yeah, so essentially Sam didn't like the project, thought it was a scam, then started liking it a lot when he dug into it. Shibtoshi, that's a vote of confidence from Sam, because he hates a lot of stuff and doesn't like a lot of stuff, and always gets me in trouble because of that, because he hates on every single speaker I bring on.
Sam, I'm very much into due diligence, and I'm always skeptical to start off about anything. And I've got to say that I'm rarely surprised by my skepticism, but with these guys, what I've seen is a legitimate
get to the point.
guy.
All right, we have to be unbiased. Let's go. Let's do this. All right, bro. Let's kick off the space.
Yeah, that's the caveat.
All right, man. Great caveat. Let's do the timer. Shibtoshi, you ready, man?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're not built on Polygon, so you don't get Sandeep's ticket of approval. BSC. All right, so we have to. All right, we're done with Shibtoshi. We're gonna move on to the next bit. I'm joking, man. Go ahead. I'll kick off the time. Sam, the time is yours.
Shut up. Okay, Shibtoshi, if you're ready, man, you've got 90 seconds starting now.
Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm Shibtoshi. I'm the CEO of Squid Grow. I'm a Bitcoin whale, a Shib whale, and also a Crow whale. I started my own project back in June to give back to the community and kind of give everybody the same opportunity that I had in the early days of crypto. We are a utility meme token. We are developing SGX, which is a decentralized perpetual exchange. We plan on doing it right. There will be no liquidity issues on our platform. And I fund and back everything, all the utilities and all the exchange listings. We started on the BSC, but also we'll be launching on Ethereum here very soon. So we have developed our own Ethereum bridge to go back and forth really excited about that. We are partnered with Mike S. Miller of Marvel, DC, and Game of Thrones. He has done our NFT collections for BSC and Ethereum, and we are developing our own NFT marketplace. All the tax, I am a tax token. I have 4% buy, 12% sell. Everything feeds the liquidity of the token, and we take security very seriously. I mean, my audits have audits. Currently we are in our third audit right now, and we are being audited by ThirTech, about 62% completion so far. And I've just tried to model my project off of what Shib did. Start from the community and grow from there. And we have an incredible.
Sorry, man, I'm gonna have to cut you off. There's your 90 seconds. Sorry, Damien, we're gonna have plenty of time to ask you some questions. Mario, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, you can lead this one, Sam, because I know you know the project.
I'll be honest, this is a big one for me. So I've gone through the hell of leading a project from the start, and the 12 months without sleep and all of that stuff. You're an incredibly successful investor. So what on earth made you want to take this step and put yourself through all this hard work?
Well, man, it all started with, trying to give a safe place to my friends and my family. I was tired of seeing everybody get rugged. I'm a 13-year veteran in this space. And, through my time in the space, I've just seen a lot of awful things occur. There was something that went down last night, unfortunately, and some of my close friends got caught up in that rug. I thought to myself, there's projects that do it successfully and they do it correctly, and they keep the community in mind with every step that they make. I can do this. And in my unique situation where I have funding, I can do it without VCs. I can fully fund everything myself and make sure it's done correctly. And that's exactly what we're doing.
I think you missed Sam's question. Sam, would you mind re-asking the question?
I mean, I think you covered it. Like, it was really just why would you put yourself through this when you don't need to? You could be putting your feet up and relaxing. But I mean, for me, I think you answered it. It's kind of unless I'm paraphrasing, you kind of want to make a difference in this space. You've kind of, I guess you could say you've made your money and you don't need to worry about that now. So you're
just quickly for the audience, I've just pinned above the tweet for Squid Grow and Shibtoshi's. Why do you have a golden tick? What the hell is that? Shibtoshi's pitch. This account's verified because it's an official business on Twitter. How do you get a meme coin? How do you get a meme coin undoxed account as an official business?
Well,
I don't know. He did that.
Our official Squid Grow account's also gold checked as well. We're registered in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are an LLC. I just heard that now. Listen, bro, can you explain to us, and I know anyone else ask questions, but what the hell is a utility meme coin? Like, where's the utility of a meme coin? Correct. So I kind of touched on that a little earlier. So we are developing several utilities. The biggest one that I'm most excited about is SDX. It's our own perpetual decentralized exchange where you will actually hold your own keys. So we are rolling out a decentralized perpetual exchange, and one of the benefits of that is the profits that are generated on that exchange will go back into my charts. We also have some things that we have not announced that are in the background, but currently what I can touch on is, our Ethereum bridge. We are rolling that out. Our perpetual exchange, our NFTs. We have passive income with our staking contracts with variable APRs. And we got some big things in the works that I'm not currently at liberty to speak on. But those are just some of the things that we have in the pipe work right now that are very close to being live.
So you said that the profits go back into the charts. How does that work in real terms?
Okay, so essentially on SGX, any of the profits that are generated on the exchange, such as, so Perpetual is similar to, GMX.io is a perpetual exchange. Somebody takes a long or short position on, say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and if they happen to get liquidated, then that loss goes to the exchange. A portion of that will go back into my chart and also into my liquidity.
Through buying tokens?
No,
sending straight to the LP?
Yeah, so what I would do is I would take tokens from the Treasury wallet and pair that with the liquidity, our liquidity pair, which would be Ethereum or BNB, and we would add that to our liquidity, but also be doing a buyback on the chart as well. So the profits that we are taking, we're going to split that up. Part of it's a buy. When we accumulate those tokens from that buy, we then pair it with the leftover BNB or Ethereum and add it to our CakeLP pair, strengthening our liquidity.
By the way, yeah, jump in, Jan. Thanks, man.
I'm just going to ask what model you guys are going with for the perpetual exchange.
So we are modeling it after GMX. As I said, we are going to have our own liquidity on the exchange. Unlike some of these perpetual exchanges that are out here, that suffer from liquidity issues, and some of the other exchanges, they use something, similar to APIs. They tap into bigger exchanges. We are taking the approach where we will have our own liquidity on the exchange, which I am funding out of pocket for that. Now, that's not to say that we aren't going to have the ability to run APIs if we choose to, because that is a fact. I do have the ability to run APIs, but we are just going to be a trading platform, and as soon as we obtain our licensing for a centralized exchange, we will have the ability to actually be a full-blown centralized exchange if we choose to do that. SGX is coded to be a perpetual exchange, but if we choose to turn it on, we can become a full-blown centralized exchange if we choose.
Any other questions, guys?
Sorry, go ahead.
I have one.
If this is being built on Arbitrum, like GMX, or who's building it, and who are the techies behind it? Building a DEX isn't super easy.
Yeah, so I'm not going to name drop the devs that we have, but we currently have 15 devs that I've contracted that help with the project that are building this. And as I said, it is modeled off of GMX, but we have taken some of the features that GMX have and fine-tuned them and actually added some additional features. A couple months ago, SGX was going into audit, and we decided we wanted to add a couple more things to it, so we kind of retracted that. And we're adding that to it now. Also with our NFT collection, people will have the ability to stake their NFTs for reduced fees as well. We will have copy trading. We will have tier system, and that's just some of the features that we're working on. The first go around at SGX was pretty basic, and we decided that we got one shot at this, and we want to kind of go after some of the top perpetual decentralized exchanges. So, we made some changes to.
So I kind of want to shit on you throughout this entire thing, but my only question is this: how much money have you put in, and how much are you willing to put in until you can stabilize the token economy?
Well, I originally set aside $4 million. We blew through about $2 million of that within the first couple months with the 12 or 13 exchanges that we've listed on.
How much have you put in? Sorry, how much have you put in?
Well, I'm getting to that. I've actually lost track of the amount of money that I had put in, but initially I set $4 million aside in my funding wallet. I've transferred more into the funding wallet since then, but I do know within the first couple months of the project, we blew through $2 million. And the week that became clear was when it was the week we were listing 5 different exchanges, and I ran over my Binance withdrawal limit. And that's when I realized my money burn. And then with the NFT collection, Mike Miller, I bought $300,000 in blue chip NFTs, Kennel Club, Mutant Apes, Doodles, Metaverse Lands, to pair those with our ultra rare NFTs. And if somebody mints one of those, they get our NFT and the NFT that it is holding as well. That was an expense that came out of that budget. There is money being spent. We have scaled back a little bit on our marketing spending, but we are focused now on actually developing at a faster rate our utilities. So that's kind of where we're at now. We are pushing forward with SGX, our NFT marketplace, our new swaps that we're rolling out with, partnerships, marketing. We just started scaling up our marketing now, trying to get in front of the Ethereum launch. We're going to be doing an ILL for ETH, and trying to just gain some traction. And it's been working. Our Twitter followers, have 2x'd in the last week and a half. doing these competitions with these exchanges we're listed on. So community's feeling good about it. I'm pretty pumped on it, and I'm definitely very excited.
Garland, last quick question, man, before we. So guys, I'll give the mic to Garland just because we have to jump into the next pitch, Sam, if you don't mind.
Do you have the first of all, 2 million? That's insane. Let's discuss it after. I can't believe you spent 2 million on all these like sub-tier exchanges. But other than that, you have these pockets of tokens that are you guys basically own 50% right now.
Pause. Just remember, back in the day, about a year and a half ago, 2 million wouldn't even get you on Kraken when Kraken wasn't.
No. This is insane. Like I'm floored by this 2 million number. But anyways, we can talk after.
Yeah, let's not use up his space.
I mean,
let's not use up his time on this.
Well, keeping in mind, Gate.io costs $600,000 to list
I didn't mean
on.
to interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt, Garland. I just want people to know this is a Web 2 and Web 3. Guys, just to be aware, back in the day, it cost you $10 million to get on Binance. And that would be 15 people getting paid in the back end. It cost you $4 million to get onto Wobi.
Garland's depressed. I see Garland's voice is just depressed.
No, I'm
He's depressed. Like $10 million.
These are all free, by the way.
Garland,
no, these are all free. These should be free. Like there's a way to get these free, and whatever exchange you're on right now, they definitely should be free. I know it's free. I've gotten them on free before, so that's another question. Sorry. But I really want to talk about.
I think it's a whole new subject. Exchanges.
Unlock.
I back Garland.
Yeah. What's your Garland? I'll ask you a question. We'll go to Sandeep, and then we'll go to the next pitch. What's your Garland? Your question on the unlocks of the tokens? Yeah, good question. So just for the audience that doesn't understand, when you receive tokens when you invest in a project, there's an unlock schedule. A shitty projects will give you a big unlock at the beginning, or projects that are very confident of their project, they give you a big unlock in the beginning. So that means when they launch, you can sell a big chunk of the tokens that you invested privately. Not a good model, not how VCs are meant to function.
So when people buy pre-sale and they want to dump on you, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, when they buy privately and they want to dump on you, not when you buy publicly. Good projects, or most good projects, generally they give you a big. There's a long vesting schedule, and you can't sell too many tokens at the beginning because otherwise that could harm the project. But obviously, not all projects are equal. Shibtoshi, what's your unlock schedule? And then we'll go to Sandeep.
Well, actually, we are a stealth launch. There is no pre-sale. We started stealth, and if you're referring to the 50% in the contract, that's actually our staking contract, where we have 50% of our supply staked by our users. So that is not project controlled. That is owned by our investors.
Sandeep, I don't know if you're a fan of meme coins, but what do you think of Shibtoshi's pitch on Squid Grow? We gotta unmute Sandeep. I know you're half asleep, man.
Yeah, I think overall, I like it. Overall, it was very crisply delivered, and I think having a very large community, which is basically they kind of like borrow from, because of Shibtoshi's stature in the community. I think they will have an initial, community coming in from there, and then after that, like if they are able to build this, exchange, especially I heard that they are building on top of or kind of like GMX kind of model, so per model plus having all these additional features added. It sounds interesting. Which chain they are building, by the way, you said?
BSC, Sandeep, BSC. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I almost removed them from stage, but it's too good of a project. So we're like, yeah, we'll accept the BSC project today. Sorry to disappoint Sandeep.
I mean, just to note, we are going cross chain, and SGX is not going to be just limited to one chain. It is a decentralized exchange.
Is Polygon? Is Polygon?
Very common for.
We will offer all the popular tokens on there too.
Polygon popular?
Well, come on, guys. Of course it is. Come on. Who hasn't heard of Polygon?
This is
Can I just help us with a quick one to finish it off with Shibtoshi?
Yeah, finish it off. Last one.
Meme coins are all about community, and I appreciate you've got utility in there. So, what's your plan? Like, we're building your community, launched in a bear market. How's it been? How do you see it coming forward?
Yeah, it's a good question. What happened to the community, man, when the market crashed? I'm actually really fascinated to learn.
Great. So obviously, we launched in June, so we launched in the bear market. In the thick of it. Obviously, it was before the black swans, but our community is growing every day. I mean, we are amassing a small little army. We've got a little over 10,000 Telegram members, almost 30,000 Twitter followers on our personal accounts, and everybody's active. At any given time, we have 5 to 1,500 active community members in there, who actively go out, shield, spread awareness. As I said earlier, I'm modeling Squid Grow after what Shiba did. So I took that business model and focused on community, because that's where it's at. The community will get the messages out there of the project and bring in new investors. And it's been a beautiful thing. We get messages. The team gets messages all the time. How some of our earlier investors, which we stealth launched at a $25,000 market cap, ran up to 52 million. We're currently about 13.5. But even with those numbers that we currently have, we have achieved substantial gains for some of our early investors. And they are diamond handing the project. Obviously, we've had some people pull profit, some people exit. That's just how it goes. We can't do anything about that. But we are very active in our community. Any of our community members can reach out in a DM and contact the team, and that's one thing that I wanted to implement.
Right, let's go. We got Fiji. We got to move on, bro. Shiptoshi. When Elon. Shiptoshi, pleasure to have you on stage, man. I appreciate you just giving us a bit of an overview on meme tokens, man, and your story of $8,000 becoming $8 and becoming $5 billion and now being $1 billion. I'm going to be telling this story to a lot of people, man. Sandeep.
Well, you can always grab a crypto magazine and read all about my story in there. We're in several publications with Crypto Mag.
You got to tell you got to dox yourself to me. Come on, I've earned it.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Sandeep?
Yeah, Mario, I just wanted to say that, it's like 4:30 for me.
I don't know why you're still awake. Yeah, jump off, man. Go to sleep. I don't know why you're still awake. I don't. Thanks, Sandeep. Hey.
Fun, but I said so.
Good night, bro. Good night. Thanks a lot, Sandeep. All right, we got
40,
thanks,
30
man.
me also.
Yeah, Alan, you've got an ape. You've got the energy. Apes don't go to sleep. All right, we're gonna go to the next pitch.
It was a bad joke. It's 4:30 p.m. for me, so.
Oh, okay, man, you messed it up. I thought you were saying my joke is bad. I'm like, you can't say that to a host. No, I'm joking. We got Blockchain Bandicoot. Sorry, Blockchain Bandicoot. That's an interesting one. It's an NFT, storytelling NFT, which it took me a while to kind of warm up to storytelling NFTs. I got proven wrong and wrong again after a bunch of projects did really well. So Bandicoot, Sam is going to kick off the timer. We've got one pitch half to use. This is the second last pitch of the night. Let's see how it goes. We thought we'll get an NFT project in today.
Okay, guys,
Sam?
in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Armin. I'm the creator and founder of Blockchain Bandicoots. Blockchain Bandicoot is a collection of 5,000 NFTs living on the Ethereum blockchain. Bandicoot Guardians are the protectors of the blockchain world Baroku-chan. An evil mastermind named Corruption has infected the blockchain, corrupting bandicoots all across their world. On Kobe's first day of Guardian training, he gets attacked by a corrupted bandicoot, and to his surprise, he's saved by 2 blockchain developers from the real world, Devin and Kari. When the 3 are bombarded by a horde of corrupted bandicoots, Devin thinks quickly and copies Kobe's code to create several bandicoots to protect them. And that was the day 5,000 blockchain bandicoots were born. You can follow the exciting adventure through our comic book, motion comic, and eventual fully animated series. Every holder of our project will receive a physical comic book through a streamlined token-gated experience. Each holder will be airdropped a Blockchain Bandicoot item NFT. These items all have a unique redemption attached to them, such as crypto prizes, posters, retro electronics, and more. Lastly, every Bandicoot has an element symbol on the top right of each NFT: water, fire, ether, wind, and grass. This allows us to create a competitive monthly match game where holders will race to collect the perfect set of elements to win a prize. This match game can be played forever and motivates holders to collect them all. We mint tomorrow evening and would love for you to join in and mint a Bandicoot for 0.06 ETH. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your questions.
That's pro, man. That's exactly 90 seconds. You prepared for that.
That's a really good
Very
pitch.
nice.
Yeah, it's so clean, such a nice clean pitch. And I like how you start. It's about storytelling NFT. So he tells a story of some random bandicoots and some blockchain developer doing something together. But at least he told the story. It's pretty cool. I'm not good with stories, man. I've got severe ADD, whatever you call it. So Fiji, what do you think of the story? Oh my God, are you being serious, man? You bought new mics and this is it. We can't. We hear nothing, bro.
You can't hear me?
Now I can. Now I can.
Okay. So this is the first NFT project we're dealing with right now. What's the mint price?
Our mint price is for the first 1,000, it'll be 0.06 ETH, and then the subsequent 4,000 will be 0.08 ETH.
What did you fund beforehand?
So everything in this project has come out of pocket. Total to date, I've put about $75,000 into it. I've been thankful enough to work hard in my life and make a little bit of money through my full-time job as well as trading some NFT.
But just quickly before you continue, just sorry, audience, I forgot to say, I've just pinned it above Blockchain Bandicoots, their tweet. Just pinned it above. It's the latest tweet on my profile, so you can go there, put your comments, shit on them, love them, ask questions.
So this is actually free. This is free consulting. So I usually charge about 25 grand for this exchange. So no, I'm being dead serious. This is a positive thing. Why are you creating this, and what's your full-time job?
So I'm creating this because my entire life I've loved telling stories. I've loved watching anime. I love reading comics and telling an adventure to people. I've always wanted people to be able to tune in, watch a show that I've created. And I just know how I felt as a kid watching Dragon Ball Z and One Piece and following the character development. I want to do the exact same thing.
Can I ask a question, Fiji? Yeah, so Bandicoot, I've got a question for you. I charge $100,000 per 5 minutes, so this is a lot of value for you. That's a lot of value. So NFTs are just pictures, man. That's pretty easy. Come on, what are you testing me? I know my shit. So a quick question, man. What's the utility of the NFT? So someone that buys the NFT, what can they do with it over the next few years, other than be part of a community?
Right now, go ahead, Mario. What was the question?
Be part of a community, or win prizes, be part of competitions. What can they do with your security? With your NFT. With your NFT.
I love it. So everyone who owns a Bandicoot will be able to redeem their NFT for physical comic books. So we're partnered with Perks and Shopify for a token gated experience. So right there, everyone's getting a physical gift. And then if you own a Bandicoot, you get a Blockchain Bandicoot item NFT, which is a supporting collection on the Polygon network. So we'll be airdropping people left, right, and center. And these items all have different things, such as posters.
We don't like Polygon. But carry on.
Such as posters, canvases, retro electronics, stickers. So it makes for a really fun experience. The cool thing about that collection is it's its own supporting collection. So if you don't like stickers, but you really want our posters, sell your sticker item, buy a poster item. And on top of that, we've got our element challenges, which is this competitive monthly challenge where people will have to collect the perfect set. And if they win the perfect set, we're doing 12 months straight of $10,000 prizes. And then after that, we're going to give away signed comic books, posters, and attire, stuff like that. And what it does is it makes for a fun experience. People are going to want to collect them all, and there's different power-ups as well on each NFT. So definitely tons of value, tons of fun in our project.
Okay, Sam, how bad is my mic?
It's better now.
That's good. Yeah, nice try, Fiji. What's your
my
next
ADHD
question?
just makes the mic bad, I think. Literally, Richie Rich just forced me to buy a new iPhone. So Bandicoots, can I ask you a core question is why charge anything?
So for our NFTs, we have to charge something in order to pay for our comic books, in order to pay for these physical gifts that we're going to be sending out. If we didn't do that, then we wouldn't be able to promise such great utility. So we also have our comic book and motion comics. So all these things cost money to make, and we want to give the best experience for people to follow our journey. And by doing that, we feel like it's pretty good value for 0.6 ETH to be able to get a Bandicoot, free airdrops, and multiple physical gifts.
Wait, is it 0.06 or 0.6?
Pardon me, 0.06.
Okay. Big difference.
Yeah, it's a little bit unorthodox the way we're doing our launch. It's 0.06 for the first 1,000. Then after that, 0.08 ETH.
Do you guys have, beyond the sending people a comic book and the airdrop and the giveaways, what's the long-term business, right? So I know right now you're talking about selling NFTs and getting getting the comic book and stuff, but if I came to you privately and I said I want to invest in the company, is there a company? What does the next 10 years hold?
I appreciate that question. So we would really love to make a card game and make this competitive game where you can actually play sort of like Pokemon. And our vision would be awesome to have this Pokemon style game where Devin and Kari are going around Baroku-chen fighting these corrupted bandicoots and fighting corruption and just going through these fun levels. So definitely we want to have physical toy gifts, sort of like a Funko Pop type image. We think our bandicoots would be perfect for little toys like that, as well as a trading card game that would be competitive and an ultimate video game.
I love, I just want to say something. Bandicoots, I love you guys. Like, it's fucking crazy. Yesterday, I'm sitting talking to soldiers in the Ukraine fighting, and they were just in the battlefield. And today, someone just rocks up in my space and listens to soldiers in Ukraine. Say that now they rock up in the space, they hear a story about bandicoots, and in half an hour and 20 minutes, they rock up in the space and talking about the Ohio disaster and the meeting with Trump that the guys just had. It's just fascinating. Sorry, I know it's completely unrelated, but as you're speaking about bandicoots, I'm like, wow.
So Mario, can I let you ask questions?
By the way, I'm sorry. How are you guys gonna blow yourself?
Oh, what's it? Sorry, hold on. Sorry, guys, too many. Okay, someone's got background noise. Mute, everyone mute.
If you look at ticketed space.
Fidgetal, can you mute? It's you, bro.
Me. I have no noise.
Okay. Oh. Because I muted everyone and still came in. Okay, now it's good. All right, Galim, sorry, what's your question? I think you were speaking. I don't know if someone else was speaking.
So you guys are.
I was just hearing you.
So
bro.
I just did a quick calculation. You guys are raising about, what is this, 1.2 mil in total. If you guys are doing the, I guess the mid price that you guys are doing. So you're gonna spend about 120K on the monthly kind of 10K giveaway. And then you're going to spend about 600K on the comic, creation, distribution and whatnot. I'm just guessing out here for 10,000 comics. So after that, OpenSea and Blur both are not enforcing creator fees. So you have about 600K left. How are you gonna make money to sustain the product?
I appreciate that, Garland. So I just want to correct you there. Our mint price is 0.06 ETH for our bandicoots. So in total,
first 1,000, right? And then you're gonna for the next 9,000, you're gonna do 0.08.
Yeah, our collection is 5,000.
5,000.
So we'll have one. I'll give you guys the breakdown right here. So 0.06 for the first 1,000. The next 4,000 will be 0.08. I do live in Canada, Ontario. We do have a very high tax bracket here. So what we will be doing is I'll tell you in Canadian dollars just so I don't mess it up. After we fully mint out, it should be about 700K.
Yep, 700K.
It should be about 700K. And then our items are going to be about 265K with our 12 months of $10,000 USD giveaways and our comic books. So at the end of it, we should have about 100 grand left over, and we're looking forward to rolling that right into our next project and any other ventures we have.
Okay, so bandicoots, everything you just
said. You're not. Sorry.
Garland.
Sorry. Can I just ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead,
you guys are not gonna.
Let's get Garland to ask.
You guys are not gonna stay in this project after this.
That's what I was
who's gonna do the developing? What's gonna happen?
So when I say my next project, I mean our corrupted bandicoots. This brand I've created, it's extremely strong. Blockchain bandicoots, I feel like it's a very untapped market. There's a lot of other animals out there in this crypto space. When I say next project, I just mean the next phase. So after Blockchain Bandicoots, we also have a Chibi Bandicoot. It's these very cute style NFTs that we want to bring out. We want to airdrop people corrupted style Bandicoots and really just pull this brand for the rest of my life. I want to focus on this. I've been focusing on this for the last 15 months, and I'm excited to see what we can achieve if we can actually mint out our project.
Okay, so I'll say this. No, no, I'm talking now. I'll say this. In terms of the
Jesus, bro. I got that's Mario speaking.
I'll finish. In terms of the terrible fucking projects,
but I'm a host, bro. I'm a host.
So am I. In terms of the terrible projects I've heard, yours is a lot better than most of the terrible projects I've heard. You at least have a decent use of funds. I probably would not have said when the next project we're doing, which is what Garland was going at. Can I ask you one question, Bandicoots?
Last question, man. We got to jump to the final pitch.
Would you be willing to dox your founder wallets?
Yeah, so all that's going to be doxed already. Everyone's going to be able to see where the funds are and where everything goes. That is always part of the plan. I did want to quickly mention our project's KYC and docs. So I've worked with Assure DeFi, so they know my real identity. I had to turn my head left, turn my head right, send them a copy of my ID, and as well as put my location services on. So if I ever try and rug the project, they'll make sure that justice is served all around the world with your local authorities.
How much of your mint fees are going to come?
I'm gonna just tell everyone the tweet above if you want to give us your thoughts on Bandicoots, Blockchain Bandicoots, as the second last pitch of the day. Check it out, and I will go with the.
I'm gonna throw out just really quickly that I think that if the dude is launching a comic book series and selling NFTs, and every person getting the NFT wants to pay and gets a comic book, he's doing 99% more than 99% of the projects out there. So I want to give him love and not totally shit on it, because, you know, a lot of these projects, you know, like
couldn't agree more.
I don't know the details but like paying for listings and things like that. That's not a real.
How much did you invest in Jenkins? How many Jenkins do you own? How many tallies do you own?
Alan, hit him back. Hit him back, bro.
How many Jenkins do I own? I don't own any, and I'm pissed about it, to be honest. I will tell you that some of my friends were minting Jenkins and telling me about it, and I was too fucking busy in my day job, and I'm a pretty
Alan, you'll buy Mario coin. I'll give you private access to Mario coin. You'll be good. Don't worry, you'll make your money. It's gonna 1000x on day one. It's gonna 1000x. Just by the way, everyone, whenever I say Mario coin, if anyone doesn't know, it's a joke, everyone. It's a joke. There's no Mario coin. If you see it pop up, it has nothing to do with me. All right, Bandicoot, love you guys. Thank you so much. Anyone that wants to give thoughts, pin tweet above. Final pitch of the day. Would love Elon to come on, because you guys are using the blockchain and tokens to kind of offer carbon credits, rewarding people that use your token to pay to charge their electric vehicles. Can you tell me more? What the hell do you guys do? You got 90 seconds, Sam.
Go ahead, Sam.
And I've just, by the way, just for everyone, I've just tweeted, this is the last pitch of the day. And then we have, in 15 minutes, we have the Ohio space for the Ohio crisis. We got Nick on the ground there. Just met Trump. That will be covering what's happening there. It seems to be getting a lot of traction. But Sam, you got C plus charge. You guys are on stage. You got 90 seconds. Sam's going to kick off the timer.
Okay, C plus charge. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
It's actually C charge, and I'm happy you're saving the best for last. But you know what C charge is we're democratizing the nearly $1 trillion carbon credit industry by expanding access to carbon credit rewards to EV drivers and owners through our payment platform. One of the unique utilities of the C charge app and payment network and C charge token is that all token holders, whether you own an EV or not, will be able to earn tokenized carbon credits through reflections from a proportion of network transaction fees earned through transactions on our system. And that's a unique thing about our project is we have a real life use case and a real life utility, which separates us from a number of the other Web3 projects. You know, currently we are in a public pre-sale. We have raised over 1.5 million to date. And we also raised a little over 250,000 from VC funding. we're partnered with Flow Carbon as a supplier of the tokenized carbon credits. They're backed by A16Z, Anderson Horowitz, Samsung Next, Invesco, among other traditional investors. We have partnership agreements with electric companies and carbon credit companies in Brazil and Turkey. We're in discussions with many, many more in India, US, UK, and over 250,000 by year 4, which will self-support the project.
Good. Right, I'm sure you can cover those other elements.
I thought I got to talk.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna give you another 20 seconds because they were last to pitch, Sam, if that's okay. Another 20 seconds, C charge, because I know you guys came in last, so I'd love to give you more time.
I mean, no, I think we covered it. I was just saying that we have a goal to be implemented in 250,000 charging stations, which is roughly about 10% of worldwide charging stations by year 4 of the network.
How much have you got? Sam will probably have a lot of questions for you. We talked about the project earlier, but how much have you guys raised so far?
So we've raised in our public pre-sale, which is ongoing right now, 1.5 million, and we have about 35 days left before it ends, March 31st, when we're listing on centralized exchanges.
Can you tell us which ones you're listing on?
We are planning on listing on Bitmart and a few other tier 2s, and we're working on getting on a tier 1 as we speak.
Do you mind if I ask who the other tier 2s are? Is that okay?
Sure. We're talking to XT, L-Bank, and a few others. It depends on what you consider tier 1. People's definition of tier 2, tier 3. Those are the ones universally that I know everyone kind of regards as tier 2s. So,
Mario, if you ask me on the DMs to ask questions, please don't interrupt when I'm trying to ask questions.
Man, I remember the days when you come in as a speaker and you were so nice. When you're a co-host, which you'll always be in with partners now, bro. We should need to renegotiate things.
No
Okay,
problem.
go ahead,
Give
man.
me less money. Oh, it's already 0.
Fucking hell, bro.
Hey guys,
C-charge. That's my question.
I mean, I'd like to. So you're raising money now.
Sam, this is not the other spaces. You don't get to talk over me. I get to talk in these.
Does that mean you're asking a question?
Guys, let's go back to questions, please. Sam, please. Let's focus, guys.
No, you go. If you got a question,
C-charge. So the only way you can collect data is by owning the physical assets, correct?
No. So we collect through the app. So in other words, we integrate, it's an API, the payment system that integrates into the charging station or the charging point. So we're very asset light. So that will allow us to be incorporated into virtually any charging station. Our platform or app is built on the OCPP 2.0 network, which is the universal language that all charging networks and charging stations are built on around the world. So it makes it very compatible. I don't want to say we're compatible with every single charging station because there's definitely going to be an exception, but let's just say 99%.
Everything I've heard is forward looking. What is backward looking? What is already integrated?
I'm sorry?
What is already integrated?
What do you mean when you say already integrated? What do you mean already?
How are you collecting data to create carbon credits currently?
Oh, okay. So as far as right now, so actually that's also another thing that we're innovating. Right now, currently, there's a Verra, the governing standard of carbon credits. They don't have a condensed. It's a very clumsy process for carbon credits from EV charging. So we're working with them as well as some other bodies to actually mint NFTs that actually generate the carbon credits from EV charging stations. But taking a step back to use tokenized, and that's where Flow Carbon comes in, our partner. They're producing tokenized carbon credits from verified projects that we'll be able to incorporate. And as a portion of the fees that we earn from the charge, we will remunerate back to the token holders in the form of carbon credits. And that's how that works. So if you want to look on the backwards.
I'll ask about the sort of practicalities of and just so we can have a better understanding. You say you can use your token to charge your EV. So is the token is effectively acting as a payment method. But how does that work in terms of matching it to the real price of electricity and the cost of charging in that particular station and the token value?
Sure.
Just so we kind of understand it a bit more.
Sure. It's all based on the dollar value. It's all based on the actual chart or the actual dollar or whatever the currency. It's all based on the actual charge, the value of the charge. It's all done on a percentage basis. So in terms of our fees, because we're using blockchain, are lower than traditional credit card processing companies. So a traditional credit card processor would charge between 2.5%, 2%. We're charging 1.75% to the owner to charge the transaction. And off those transaction fees is how we're working the system. Again, has a real life use case, real life value.
So they're paying with your token. Obviously, then the partner at the charging station, the provider of the charger, would they, to protect their bottom line, then obviously because of volatility, then flip it immediately into USD? Would that not create selling pressure on the token?
Well, it also, so that's another thing about our token or our network that's providing organic support. We every time a token is used and to pay for a charge, it is retired for 18 months. So it provides organic support for the platform, for the network. Also, the payment platform. We talked about access to crypto before. What we're doing, and part of our app, is the app will accept regular fiat or credit card to purchase our token for a charge in app. So that expands access. There was someone on earlier who was talking about making crypto easier. That's what we're trying to do: expand the accessibility to crypto, making crypto more friendly, more accessible to the masses. And I think it's something that is important because probably there's only about if you look at just the general world population as a whole, probably there's only about a 5% use case of crypto. People use it. It's clumsy. It's not easy for a lot of people. So we're trying to make this as accessible and easy as possible for people to be able to have the ability to use crypto.
I'll just one more question, then I'll pass to other people. I want to understand how the carbon credits work. How do people actually receive carbon credits while they're using it?
So that's in the app, and it's a percentage of it. They receive a percentage of their charge. They will earn carbon credits based on the price of the charge, and then as a proportion of that charge, they will earn back in form of tokenized carbon credits that will sit in their wallet using the blockchain. This is a utility of the network of the token, and as it's something that we developed that the incentives for electric vehicles are dwindling. Tax breaks, tax credits are shrinking as electric vehicles are becoming more commonplace and becoming more mainstream. So this is a way that rewards drivers over time with extra incentives that will be made up that for the loss of tax credits and tax incentives, among other incentives, to be more sustainably mobile.
Jesus Christ, Digital. Can't hear anything.
Can you hear me right now?
We've got some questions from the speakers.
Christ.
Maybe Goody?
It's crazy. Yeah, go Garland. I'll let Garland then Joe.
Here, I got a question. Okay.
Yeah, jump in. We'll go Garland first and we'll go to Joe right after.
Hey, so I noticed something. So you guys are raising the ICO style, and I just logged into a couple of US VPN, and you guys still allow this. You don't IP block this in the US. So did you guys have a license from this to raise this for publicly?
It's offshore, so we're incorporating the.
It doesn't matter though.
the
You guys are.
virtual
I mean, I just logged into US VPN, and it's still available for me to participate.
I would have to check with the provider in
definitely
terms
check
of
on that.
our developer and whatnot.
No,
Yeah,
more
I would
importantly,
definitely
Garland,
check
how
That's
much did
something
you
we have to
buy?
check in.
Sorry.
How much did you buy?
No, I'm saying this is like
Oh, I know what you're
if
saying.
you allow
I'm asking
this,
how much
like
it's
I'm
worth.
gonna see you on the SEC page next. So I would definitely check on this next.
Do you have a plan? By the way, C-Charge, do you have a plan if the SEC goes after you, where to hide? We do have a few hiding spots for our clients in case you ever need those.
I don't
Again,
think-
it's a joke. It's a joke for anyone listening. before I have to put all these disclaimers now to be fucking boring. But yeah, no joke. Tell us, Vietnam, Cambodia. The list goes on.
Dubai.
Joe, jump in, bro. Dubai. Joe, jump in before I incriminate myself.
Have you had interest from level 3 chargers or just like level 2 chargers? Because I would see an issue from level 3 being interested, and I kind of think that's where the market's going. On top of that, if you can answer where you would deploy, because carbon credits around the world have been declining in price, not increasing in price, and how you plan to keep interest, basically.
Well, to answer your question, the first question, I would say, it's really on the charging station owners, the networks themselves. So how they see fit, how they integrate into their entire portfolio of chargers, I think is important. In terms of, there's a number of different, I think that the charging station, let's just say the types of chargers are differs in the type of users or the use case for the owner. So that's something that we're just providing. We're going at the high level to the actual owners, not on the granular level individually. And I think that's important that it integrates into the system. And essentially what we're looking at is C-Charge will just be another payment platform that's accepted as a payment network, whether it be Google Pay, Apple Pay, Visa, MasterCard. That's what we're targeting.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
Nope. We got 3 minutes left. We have 2 hands up. I've been kicking Goody off stage for the last 45 minutes just because it makes me happy. So Goody, you have a quick question. You have a minute left for anybody on the stage, specifically C-Charge, hopefully, and then Fiddy for the worst take of the day. Go Goody. That's what I thought. Okay, I'm gonna mute you. Fiddy, go ahead.
So I've been playing with the carbon credits for a little while. I wanted to ask you a question. I'm not going to touch on the legal things, but how do you see this being different than KlimaDAO? I know Mark Cuban's been very much invested into that. Like, what would you say be a big difference here?
I mean, the difference being is that we're actually rewarding drivers for driving more, in terms of we're giving a real incentive for EV owners to drive more. And then also on the back end, we're developing a system that actually will, allow EV station owners also the ability to earn more money from their charging stations through the issuance or through the tokenization of carbon credits through NFTs. So that's something that we're working on. We don't have that capability ready, but it's coming actually sooner than we anticipated with some of the different the bodies coming around on that. And I think just touching upon the idea that carbon credits are declining in value, and essentially with price caps actually increasing, I think it's but it's irrelevant if carbon credit prices decline or increase. It's more the fact that there's creating more opportunity to earn and making it more accessible and easier.
With the EVM issue that Garland just brought up, not probably the best thing I'd say. Fiddy, I love that you referenced Klima. We can bring up Ohm, Copper, Olympus, Time. What else would you like? No.
Goody, do you want to ask the last final question? We're going to kick off the tour. We got a higher space in 1 minute. I delayed it by 10 minutes. Last question for Goody. All right, thanks everyone. Appreciate you all. No, I'm joking. Goody, go ahead. But Goody, your mic's not working. We can't hear anything, man.
God damn it, both of you. It's not
it's good. It's good now. It's good now. I didn't do anything. No, I'm the nice guy, bro. I brought you up like 20 times, man. So don't. I don't know. You and Fidji, you love hate. It's none of my business. But C-Charge, last question, bro. Go ahead.
He loves flexing that power over me. It's okay. First question, because you've referenced a lot, like both sides of it. Do you see yourself as more retail based or enterprise based? I'm not even gonna acknowledge Phygital.
I think it's both, because there's two different use cases or users. There's B2B in the sense that we're working with the actual charging station owners in terms of incorporating that and providing that value in the sense that lower transaction fees, as well as the ability eventually to earn extra money from their investment by generating carbon credits. But then there's a retail component as well, as the fact that people are more socially conscious about their purchases, about being being sustainability, incorporating sustainability into their lifestyle. It used to be that sustainability was kind of like a fringe thing, but now it's a core tenet of a lot of different brands. And it's also something we talk about the payment network. It's something that we're looking to maybe incorporate beyond the charging stations. It's something we've talked about and discussed about building a credit card or a debit card that will have carbon credit rewards part of our platform, that every charge users will earn carbon credits. And it's something that expanding that on the retail side, because sustainability is such a focus of, more mainstream for brands, luxury brands, consumer brands. So there is something, especially with Gen Z being, much more socially conscious. It's something that I think we're tapping into.
All right, sorry, guys. Goody, I just want to give just tell the audience. Above is the pinned tweet for C-Charge. If you want to shit on them, love them, ask them questions, just pin tweet above. It's the latest tweet on my profile. Goody, go ahead. Last quick question, man.
Honestly, the last quick question was just like, what is the point of the token on the consumer side? Because like, where does it benefit me? Like the carbon credit's cool, but besides that, more than my 2% or 3% that my credit card company gives me back does as Phygital mutes me again. That's just the why token?
Sure, it's the ability to have a one of the problems with the carbon credit market is the lack of transparency and lack of verification. Having it tokenized, having it on the blockchain allows for the actual verification of it, is also ease of transmission and quote unquote a transparent marketplace. So that provides in the sense of a reward that in terms of frequent flyer miles wouldn't provide. Also, frequent flyer miles in essence are quote unquote dirty. They're polluting the environment. And I think a lot of people are becoming more socially aware, socially conscious of that fact, and they'd rather earn carbon credits, help save the environment, and earn rewards the clean way, so to speak, than some of the more traditional forms of rewards that are quote unquote dirty or are not environmentally sustainable.
I guess I'll come down there.
All right, guys. I'm gonna figure out how you wrap up the pitch by C-Charge. Give us your thoughts. You and Sam, give us your quick thoughts, and I'll wrap up the final pitch.
My thoughts are as follows: if carbon credits could be completely on chain, it would be an incredible innovation. I've dealt with plastic credits and circular economies, so if possible, fantastic. I think it would stop. Mario, you're about to do a Palestine show, so in terms of
East Palestine, not Middle East Palestine. East Palestine in the US,
yes,
in Ohio.
The water that looks like doodles. Yes. If we could clean up the environment, I think it's an incredible, idealistic goal. I think there's a lot more in terms of an on-chain ecosystem. I think it does require, ideally, all of the largest players to dig into the ecosystem. So I appreciate and I applaud the attempt. I hope it works really fucking well. I know you guys have 1.4. I don't know. We didn't get into the economics, but I applaud you guys, and I will buy some shit just so if Shibtoshi invests, I'll just make some money off him, and then we'll move from there.
Sam,
thank you.
Final quick words on C-Charge.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows, or at least a few people know, I'm a big EV guy. I've been long-term investing in various EV companies, so I love any innovation. I think it's going to be a very challenging thing to do, but I think if you can get it moving, get some partnerships in place, get it out in the real world, it's really interesting, especially the ability for the everyday person to get their hands on those carbon credits that are normally held by corporations. So I think it's a great initiative. I think all the projects were great on the pitches today. Really appreciate everyone speaking, everyone coming up, etc. So thanks for having me on, Mario, as always.
No, but Sam, how much of a shit co-host am I?
You're the best, man. Best co-host ever.
I swear, Sam, he's incredible, but I swear he's so fucking confident out of nowhere. Like he used to be speaking, he used to be so nice. I'll tell you this Phygital story. He used to come in my space in the early days, aggressive as fuck, which I like. And then when he used to come, that's in my crypto spaces. Then I started doing non-crypto spaces. He would come on. He started aggressive, like just fucking shitting on people. And then he got so much hate. I'm like, bro, you got to ease it up. And I needed liberals. I had a lot of conservatives on my space in the early days. And I always try to balance everything 50-50. And I always would like to invite Phygital to balance it out because he's liberal. But he'd come in and just shit on everybody. I'm like, bro, you got to be careful. And then he got kicked off a few times. And that started being very careful. Watching his words carefully. DM me, Mario, better now. I'll be like, yes, thank you. And now he's a co-host. I swear to you, I feel like he's about to kick me off stage.
You've inflated his ego so much. You should hear the phone calls that we have, Mario. It is absolutely obnoxious.
Bro, I was in your space. I couldn't speak, and he's just shit. What did you call me? What did you call me in my own? What the fuck did you call me in the space? Anyway, guys, look, really appreciate the time. Really appreciate the time everyone gave us. It was a sick panel, sick discussion. Love all the heavyweights that joined us throughout the discussion. All the great pitches. Really appreciate it. Anyone listening to the replay, make sure you DM me on my account. The team can connect you to any of the projects. Faith Tribe, you guys are beasts. I don't know why you fell asleep on your phone, Wahid. It's a shame. you messed up. But I'll give you a shout out on your behalf. Incredible project. It's a fashion platform for anyone wanting to get into fashion. They use blockchain to democratize it. People could use a token to get access to everything they need to launch their fashion brand. So if you're a designer, and I'm just going to mute everyone. Someone has unmuted mic. If you're a designer, check out Faith Tribe. It's a sick project, one of my favorite, and I'm heavily vested into the project. Check him out. And Wahid's a beast as well, a close friend since we started working with him. And we'll see you all in a few minutes. We're going to kick off the space on the Ohio train derailment in East Palestine. Nick was there. He did all these TV appearances, our co-host and a part of the roundtable. Did all these TV appearances. Met Trump. I keep saying this because he's really proud of it. And didn't get a photo, unfortunately, so he's pretty pissed. And he's going to be in the space in 5 minutes. I'm going to end this one and start the other one. Candidate for president.
Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang. Beast of a guy. I had him on the space a couple of weeks ago. I can't wait for him. I would love to. Yeah, I'll bring him on the space. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe the next one. But we had a great discussion on AI. He's a great speaker. Really enjoy his presence. Love you all. Thank you so much. Sam, Fiji, thanks for moderating the panel and all the projects. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate all the sponsors. We have ShipToshi. We have C-Charge. We have Blockchain, Bandicoot. We have Faith Tribe. And we have the game, the incredible game that my team loves that we're invested in. Age of, let me see where it is. Cross the Ages.